Hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So welcome again to another episode of MDS Talks. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic about chess and AI. And actually, when you hear those two keywords, the first thing that comes up to my mind is that very specific event when Kasparov was defeated against Deep Blue. So that was a very remarkable event on the artificial intelligence history, since after this, the focus was always on artificial intelligence, and now we can say that we are already on the golden age of artificial intelligence. But today we are going to talk specifically about artificial intelligence on the chessboard, and we are going to discover the AI algorithms, ancient strand transposals, and of course, we have a very, very amazing speaker, Mr. Tamer Karatekin. He is a chess master and an AI educator, also the president of the Satran International. We are happy to have you with us today. Mr. Tamer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kautar. And did I pronounce it correctly? Kautar?
Yes, Kautar. Yes, Kautar.
And Bahai, thank you very much. You are doing a great job bringing the community together and getting the word out on interesting projects or interesting, ideas about how education should be. And I really want to congratulate you for all your group. I became a chess. Go ahead, please.
I would like to also say welcome to Asma. Asma, she is the team leader of the MDS Talks. And also we have with us Bahaddin, the president of the working data scientist community. Welcome.
Hello, Bahaddin, as well. Thank you. It's really great to have this community. Go ahead, Asma.
Sorry for interrupting. So I guess we can start. The floor is yours, Mr. Tamer.
All right. So there are a few things I want to do, but before I start, I want to speak about myself and
Yes.
But before I start about my background and why I'm doing, I became enthusiastic about leading the projects now. It's around Satranj and other historic board games from Middle East and also Mediterranean and partially also Europe. I grew up in Istanbul, Turkey, but I was born originally in Yugoslavia, in currently Northern Macedonia, and I have been a strong chess player since a young age, participating in scholastic and like national under 8, under 9, under 10 chess championships in Turkey. And I learned chess from my grandfather, who was an educator in the Balkans. He was one of the first dictionary writers between Turkish and Yugoslavian, Turkish and also Albanian. So as you might be aware, Cyrillic alphabet, the Russian alphabet, what you call Cyrillic, which is actually originates actually from Northern Macedonia, in Ohrid, that's where it comes from. And he was a physics teacher, translating physics books for the Turkish minority in the Balkans. And I grew up learning chess from him, and then I took some private lessons. I attended Istanbul Chess Association many times, and the community helped me to get better. And eventually, I became the Turkish national chess champion at age 19. But before that, I was lucky to play Kasparov in a simultaneous chess match in Istanbul. He was invited to Istanbul by a bank sponsorship. The same year he played Deep Blue. He first beat Deep Blue, and then he lost to Deep Blue. And IBM's stock increased like 22%, and IBM didn't want to have a third match. So that's the same year I played Kasparov in a simultaneous chess match. The match ended in a draw, so that qualifies me as a good defender against the world chess champion, but it's a simultaneous match. So that helped me to get a scholarship from a few universities in the US, one of which is MIT. And I joined MIT. There I played as the first board of MIT's chess team between 2000 and 2004. And later, throughout this period, I have been interested in AI. I've been following how AI algorithms work in chess, but it's been only recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, when I've really started to focus on how we can bring chess as an educational tool into education, educational tool to impact how children are learning at a young age, or how this interest in chess can be channeled into something productive, into something that's more employability oriented. Because, as you know, being a chess coach, it doesn't make you a soccer superstar, like it doesn't make you Zidane per se, right? So it has to be this interest in chess has to be channeled into something else. There's just simply not enough demand for good chess players in the world anymore, right? There was a time. So I became a good chess coach for children, and later a grant writer and social impact entrepreneur for chess and school projects. I was coordinating a few grant applications to European Union youth program, one of which is a Satran AI project, which is to build an AI curriculum on chess. And it is this curriculum. You can visit the website, Satran AI. And the name Satran comes from chaturanga. And also the Spanish word for Satranj, chess, is ajedrez, which is a phonetic variation of the word for Shatranj. So it's written as Agedrez, which is a variation of xadrez, and in Portuguese it's called xadrez, coming from, again, Shatranj. So all this Mediterranean era, Mediterranean geography used more or less similar names for the game of chess. And this is when chess really also evolved to have some small rules have been added. And chess was very interesting back then, if you ask me, more diverse. And now that's a bit lost. Children are playing a lot of computer games. They're forgetting how our ancestors used to play games. They used to play some other games. So they used to play checkers. They used to play three-stone, nine-stone board games. The Roman soldiers in archaeological diggings, they found very old board games being played in various geographies. Like in Istanbul, they found this nine-man Morris, where Roman soldiers used to play, which is well known. There's a Byzantine chess, Rumia chess, which is a circular chessboard playing chess. So that's wherein there's also Kirkat from North Africa, which is also known to have been played in Spain. And we want to revive this game. There's Ur game, as a dice game that's known to be ancestor of backgammon, which was known to be played both in India, also Mesopotamia, but it's known to be a game from Ur. Ur was the capital of Mesopotamia, so it was like a really Iraqi game, like this region. And we want to revive these games in the scholastic setting, and we want to make children have a transition to AI and other relevant disciplines like data science, statistics, math, through these games. So, but Satran AI project is ambitious in the sense we want to teach all the AI algorithms. Not all the AI, but the adversarial search, the ones where you compete against an opponent kind of games, right? So they are, in the simplest way, you can make a random move, which will be probably a bad move because there's only a few good moves in a position, but you can also make on purpose some bad moves. But to find the best move is not always easy. How are you going to decide what's the best move? How are you going to reach this decision, right? So, and recently Google DeepMind also came up with a new algorithm to beat the world Go champion AlphaGo, and that the chess version of that algorithm was Alpha Zero, and Alpha Zero also played very interesting games, and the algorithm of Alpha Zero was incorporated to other chess programs because they had a publication. Maybe they didn't release the source code, but the implementation was clear, so it was integrated to other AI. And this grew. And then AlphaZero grew into AlphaFold. Now they're protecting proteins. They are trying to use the algorithm to solve other scientific problems. But even that algorithm is difficult to grasp for the average high school student or average undergraduate student. So we are trying to explain this evolution of AI algorithms up to AlphaZero, including AlphaZero in a chess curriculum, but going with a historically more relevant version of chess. That's for sure. So this means that you can ask a question, or I can also talk a few other things. But I want to know how big your community is, and also how many talks you had before, so I can adjust my content better to the audience you are addressing.
As for, I don't know if Baha would like to speak, since Baha is the president. But the Moroccan data scientist community is a community that has many initiatives. One of them is the Moroccan MDS talks, but we have more other initiatives like Moroccan data darija. Darija is the language we use in Morocco. So we want to give access to the Moroccan data scientists, to give them access to some databases that are locally from Morocco, because it's very hard for data science students to find data sets. So that project will help them to find, to have access to some valuable data. And also there is another initiative. Actually, it's one of our next objectives. It's data start. So it's like a competition. Actually, we are given a chance to our community members to present their ideas, their projects, and in various different top fields. So after they're going to work on as a team on their projects, and after they'll give like a small pitch, so to introduce their idea to the other members on the community. So basically, we are encouraging everyone to focus more on data science and to give it a try. Also to learn more about artificial intelligence and to have an idea about the new technologies or the new things that are in the field. I hope.
I think it's a very good community, that a very good way to get the word out on new projects that's happening in the region. And I was very happy when you reached out to me, because I know Kirkat, this 5x5 board game that was shown in Book of Games, but it's a North African board game. It's played in all around Mediterranean, and it would be a good game to promote even in Morocco. And I know that Morocco is also the capital. It's the westmost and maybe northmost city in among the countries of the Organization of Islamic Collaboration, which probably has highest European influence, plus probably has highest American influence, because geographically you're closest to the two. And I was very happy.
Yes, two continents.
Also, your capital, I think, Rabat, right? I'm sorry. In Turkey,
yes,
we call it.
Yes, Rabat.
In Turkish, we call your country as Fas. So, which is also the hat you have. I think the hat you have is also Fes, but this is different. We call the country Fas. Organization of Islamic Collaboration has a research center on Islamic culture, history, and art in Istanbul, where the next building is the university I worked with, the Fatih Sultan Mehmet University, which is the coordinator of the Satran AI project. But also in Rabat, I believe, Organization of Islamic Collaboration is a center on education. And this center is also, the fact that the center of all Islamic world is in Rabat means something, because it's closest to both Europe and the United States geographically. And I think Morocco will have an important play. Yeah.
Also, the oldest university is in Fas, Jamiat al-Qarawiyyin. So I think that also has a great impact.
Yes, okay. No, I've never been to Morocco. The closest I was in Minorca, in a Spanish island, small island in Spain, to play in 1998 under-18 World Youth Chess Championship. I know chess spread over Mediterranean, that region, very much, and I want to talk about that a bit, because how the earliest chess masters of the world lived in the golden era of Islamic science in Baghdad in the 9th century, when Al-Khwarizmi, the originator of the word algorithm comes from Al-Khwarizmi, as you know, and he wrote the book of Jabir, algebra book, famous book. And it was a very prolific area for many different disciplines. And one of them was also happens to be chess. The chess masters of that era were sponsored and under the guidance of under the protection of the caliphs of that era. And they wrote the first chess strategy book of the world. There have been a few former chess texts, of course, from Persia and India also. But the first chess strategy book of the world was Satran AI, which we are now translating actually to English. It has never been translated to English. It is I have a team of scientists, academicians, professors on science history, some experts in Arabic. I'm a chess master. We are bringing things together, so we hope to publish it in English, maybe even a revised Arabic version. We hope to publish. That's an ongoing work, which is very important for the region. I hope to get this book out to as many people as possible. We'll probably have a free PDF version too, but also a print version, right? So if you can help us to get the word out on that book, is also very important, because the earliest books from Europe, like in Spain, one of which is Book of Games, which was commissioned by the wise king Alfonso of the 13th century. By the way, that's roughly the same era that the Egyptian Sultan Baybars, maybe I'm mispronouncing, he reigned power. This is the 13th century. The Book of Games was written, and I want to share some images to you now by sharing my screen from that book. How do I share my screen? Okay, let me see. And do I share my screen now or not?
Yes, we can just see the navigator.
Okay. So
yes, now we can see it.
There are some slides I prepared for this bit, but so this is a drawing from that very book of games, and this another drawing from a miniature from the Book of Games. This puzzle is called Dilaram Mate, which was asked in Persia, but you see how this puzzle, I mean, of course, probably Google search will result in a bigger thing, but this is the very same puzzle that was asked, like in the book Satran AI. You can see the same puzzle being solved and played by Spain, by the ladies of Spain. And here you see another miniature where a Jewish master is playing probably Arabic master, because you can see their headpieces. And the position is very interesting, actually. And I was thinking that this position was drawn, actually, but maybe the white side is winning, but black is about to checkmate white, but white has a combination here, a sequence of moves that result with check, 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 leading to a mate. But if there's a position change, it will be a draw. So this is, and this is Esuli, by the way. This is Esuli, one of the early authors, the second or third chess master from Baghdad. He was the strongest player of his era. And this is a statue of him from Turkmenistan, Ashgabat, because it's known that his great-grandfather had the last name Sultekin. Sultekin stands for the Tekin of the city of Sul, and Tekin was a prince or governor, and he has some very interesting puzzles in his book, right? And then this is the Lucena's book from 1497, and this was just commissioned, published by Lucena after 1492, when Queen Isabel first, I mean, she sponsored Christopher Columbus to reach United States, Americas, but also, you know, in 1492, Jews and Muslims of Spain were forced to be moved out or convert. So, but this book was written by one of the converts, and this is a very interesting book in the sense half of the book is with ancient chess rules that were almost same as the ones from Baghdad and Satranj rules, and the half of the book is with the new rules, where they are introducing a new version of chess, but the evolution of pieces have been happening in that era, right? So the elephant piece has been already introduced. The modern elephant piece has been already introduced on the 13th century by the El Libro de los Juegos. Maybe I'm not pronouncing correctly, but it's the Book of Games, the wise king Alfonso is. So we are leading some of these historic translations, and yes, the European translations are very much intact, but the Arabic translation or the Arabic to English translation of Kitab Satranj is missing. And we are doing that. Once this is done, we will be in a better situation to have a more culturally inclusive and unified East and West combined Satranj curriculum, or Mediterranean and Middle Eastern curriculum, and also European curriculum to be shared with the general public and youth. So, but the work is in progress on this. And I just want to share these photos because they show how people were playing this game quite peacefully, if you ask me, on that era, and it was a good pastime. And I also want to mention, both in Arabic and in Spanish, the word for the bishop is, in Arabic is, I think, alfil, and also in Spanish is alfil. The same word is used. In Turkish is fil. In Russian is slon, meaning elephant. In Hebrew is fil. In Armenian is elephant again. In Chinese is xiangxi. I think is also, I'm very sure it's elephant also. And probably half of the world, more than half of the world, calls this piece elephant. In Greek, it's officer. It means the army officer, right? So this piece remained the name. And the British clergy during British colonization era, the pieces were slightly Christianized, more than Christianized. So in that form is the popular form we play today, which is a problem when trying to promote chess as a culturally inclusive game. And I believe every child should learn chess. Every parent should teach their children how to play chess, checkers, and a few other board games. But the form of chess today that we play is no longer as inclusive as it was in the 13th and 15th centuries. I mean, these diagrams are here very inclusive. They don't have any religious symbols per se, the icons and stuff. But if you open any, let's say I type on Google on chess, right? So I type chess, and but this is our platform, by the way. We are making some more culturally inclusive lists. I put chess. The first one is chess.com, Lichess, Wikipedia, and I open the visuals, and you see all of the icons have the cross on top. Although the piece king moves the same as it used to go back in India, back in Persia, back in Central Asia, because that's where chess originates from, the king's movement has not been changed. It's the same king. But culturally, this element has been appropriated, if you ask me, not in a correct way. And now the way chess is taught in the world has become a bit non-inclusive form, more than not, if you ask me. So the other faiths, the other practitioners of this game who believe this game should be universal, should be careful when they teach this or practice this or play this, right? So I think there's more work to be done how chess is marketed and reaching children. And because chess is so religionized right now, let's say, prevents the promotion of chess also in scholastic settings. A lot of other games are preferred. So me, as a chess marketer, we are trying to promote more culturally inclusive variants of chess. So for example, we have done this. I'll show you some of our work. So we have an exhibition as part of the Satran AI project. This is the website. This chess set is from 11th or 12th century Persia. And as you see, these are the very similar chess pieces that were also played in Spain. So these are how the chess pieces were back then, very abstract. And you see the pawns, you see the elephant has two tusks. This is the horse head. The rook has this V shape. And the king and the queen, I mean, the Shah and the Vizier look very alike, but the Shah is slightly larger than the Vizier. And the pawns have like six flutings. And this is how the chess was. And we have some work that tell on the evolution of these chess pieces, how it was, both in very old times, also in modern socialist countries or Central Europe. For example, these chess pieces that you see were from Austria, from the 19th century. This is the second world chess champion, Emanuel Lasker, was born in Germany, and he's known to be a friend of Albert Einstein. And you see the chess pieces he has used have, again, no religious symbols, mini onion domes, and the bishops also don't have a mitre. And these chess pieces are very universal. So chess was, on the 19th century, still played in a very universal way. And this is many times, these are the early chesses from Spain, by the way. Again, it's very universal chess pieces, you see. And these are the chess pieces from Persia, but very similar chess pieces also exist in Spain, also made of glass. Usually these pieces were made from animal bones or wood, right? But the wood doesn't remain. So you see, and the original name for the new chess piece, the that was altered from alfil to have this new movement. The elephant piece back then in Satranj used to go 2x2 jumping, and now currently it goes diagonal also, but can go as much as it was first called crocodile in Spanish, because a crocodile was gifted from North Africa, from Egypt. A Nile crocodile was gifted by the Sultan of Egypt or Emir of Egypt to marry the daughter as a marriage gift, to marry the daughter of the Spanish king. And the offer was rejected, but the animals remained there, and one of the animals was later depicted as a statue which now hangs on the Seville Cathedral. This is 15th century, and this is the name of the original piece that this was changed. So the bishop is wrong, the elephant is wrong. It was a crocodile first, right? And it's the African, North African crocodile. Okay. I believe the stories are interesting to tell to children too. And you see this another from the Book of Games. You see the chess pieces here are very universal. And this is, I think, is the rook with the V shape, and this is the elephant with the tusk. And there's some positions depicted, and this is how chess was played in Spain back then. And these are, and Spain also introduced. When I say Spain, of course, there were also Jewish scholars living there, Muslim scholars living there, various faiths living there, and they helped form the modern chess. Right. So it was a multicultural creation. I want to talk about that because this creates a problem when trying to examine chess in Muslim countries, when the presentation of chess worldwide has become a very Christianized form, and the thought leaders and decision makers are not as careful when they present these things. And usually people who know the details of this cultural presentation, they're not so much in power. So someone will produce chess sets, send the schools. For example, in Turkey, 20,000 schools were sent chess sets with the crucified symbols, and it was a very bad presentation of chess, if you ask me, not as culturally inclusive. But now, when chess is promoted in schools or in data science settings or AI settings, there's a great opportunity to tell about the ancient chess puzzles and try to solve them, because this Satranj is less export compared to modern chess. It is a bit of a slower game, so the games last longer. So it's a bit like Go, if you ask me. It's a bit slower game, but it doesn't lead to a checkmate as easily. And I think there's a very good exploration ground there to test various AI algorithms, which is the focus of our project. And of course, not Satranj only. Also, we have also some German variant of chess called, I will show you here. In German language and also in Hebrew, they call the chess piece elephant Läufer. Läufer means runner, messenger. And this variant of chess was very popular. In chess, let me see, Läufer shot. Maybe Läuferspiel. It was yeah. Laufspiel. Oh, this one. So this is some opening there. Explain. But there was a different game played 20x10, on a 20x8 board, mostly in Germany. There are a few variants of chess that were popular in Europe. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can talk, keep talking on. Maybe it's good that we start talking slightly about the contents of our curriculum and how Moroccan youth can collaborate with us. Please.
My question is more about the. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was drinking some water, so it's hot.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, of course.
Yeah. So welcome again, Tamer. It's so wonderful to have you here between us. As you know, we in our community. So before culture talks about the data start initiative that we work lots about some projects. We do some learning by doing to resolve some social projects or problematics. So the idea here is to use some data sets and churn from the raw data to something that can help stockholders to take decisions, etc. So as we know, a field, one of lots of fields that we can apply the data science and mathematics, statistics, etc., is the games. Okay, so here we have the chess. We know that we have lots of data, and
True.
we have also lots of uh, historic data. We can have, for example, all the movements of ancient players. Maybe we can go throughout history to find some iconic games between, for example, I don't know, Napoleon and Hitler, for example. We
Not
can
Hitler.
also
Napoleon
do.
played
No, no,
Napoleon.
may I? Okay.
So
No,
Napoleon
no,
actually played chess. I want to add you this story. This is a very interesting story. There was an
I am
automaton.
making
So there was an
Napoleon
automaton.
versus who?
He played the Turk. There was a robot, like a machine, where a person was hiding inside playing chess, and he was a really good chess master. He was this automat was traveling in Europe, and he played Napoleon chess. And I think this machine beat Napoleon. Napoleon beat the Turks maybe in battle, but this machine beat Napoleon. But of course, the strongest player back then in France was Philidor, and Philidor beat this machine. And now Amazon has a service called the Turk.
Okay.
The Turk service of Amazon means
The
some
Turk
human
is
in the background doing the work, but it appears like a machine. So some human in the background is doing cheap labor work, and it's outside is looking like a machine is doing it. This is the concept, you know. This is what's happening. So, and there are some very interesting. Actually, the games from Baghdad that were played like 1,000 years ago during golden era of Islamic science are very little discovered. There's not even a good AI that analyzes these games, and we are building this AI. Of course, not just chess. There's also other simpler board games where understanding the mastery of the game is easier. You know, to
go.
understand the position of chess is not as easy to which is better, who's not, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We have, for example, AlphaGo. We can use that in the Go, the Chinese game, board game. We can
Sure, sure.
also. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. When I said Napoleon versus Hitler, I am, for example, I am imagine a generative AI. Okay. For example, an application that you choose some personalities, some politicians around the history, and you give the algorithm some parameters. For example, the strange, or for example the mindset of this politician for these leaders, and you can simulate a game, you know, for example Bruce Lee versus
Politicians will be to use
Roosevelt.
politicians not very politically correct. Okay, so politicians made a lot of bad decisions. To use politicians, but there are a lot of ancient chess players. We can simulate their style. Now there is some chess research or chess AI search happening to make the AI play like a human, because even now there are to play human-like mistakes, to play in the style of a former master, and how the AI will simulate that, right? Even there is research happening in that, right? There's a need. Maybe there are some features of that player other than just a search. Maybe the goal is not always to play the best move. Maybe you are trying to imitate another player person's style, right? So yeah, this is all possible. You can change some features of the AI, and then the AI can play more aggressive, more defensive, change the evaluation function, right? You can try different styles differently. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So my question is, can you tell us about reinforcement learning and the history of models used, for example, Deep Blue, or I don't know. How, for
Sure,
example,
sure.
if we want to make a robot, a bot, for example, to play the some online chess game, for example, in League Chess or another
Yeah,
alternative, what
sure.
steps or roadmap can we do? Yeah.
So let me tell you about the Chess and chess.com and other servers. These websites that host chess games, they might be not for profit, but they have a business. Okay, some of them are for profit. Chess.coms are for profit. Chess is a non-profit, but they have a business, right? They have hosting fees. They need to accept donations, and some websites are not so friendly to AI playing chess on their platform. So if I play with an AI, I say I'm an AI, or maybe I am not telling the people that I am an AI. I'm just looking the moves, but I'm getting some AI assistance. This website, some of these websites are not friendly. Like you cannot even install. They will not even allow you to join with AI. I don't think Lichess allows. If you join with AI in Lichess, I never seen a play against a computer option unless it's offered by the Lichess themselves. So you cannot join there with your own thing. But I remember previously, like on Internet Chess Club or other service, there were AIs, and there are also people who host AI tournaments playing against AI. Because once you open this Pandora's box of playing versus AI online, you don't know who you are playing with, And if the community is always getting assistant, everybody playing very good moves. I think we want to evolve actually Satranj AI project to a point where we can upload our own AI to the platform. Like you can upload, everybody can upload their own little AI, and there is a competition happening, a hackathon happening. So that's part of our goals with the Satranj AI project. But the simplest AI, let's talk about the evolution of the AI project, right? So you mentioned Deep Blue, you mentioned AlphaGo, AlphaZero. So these are good milestones in the development of AI where we've reached now. And that's a very exciting story. And that's what the focus of the Satranj AI project is. I will share one link here with you guys. So I'm going to... this is the Satranj AI curriculum project. And let me go here in the chat. I will type it. And you can share this yourself also. So this is the Satranj AI website. All right. If you go to the website, this is our official project website. This project is co-funded by the European Union. The grant comes from the Turkish National Agency of the European Union. And we are teaching computer science teachers in Istanbul. And if you click on the AI curriculum link here, and if you click on the curriculum thing, you will see what our curriculum contains. So we start... I will come to the section which you asked, which is this section, Deep Blue, AlphaZero, Stockfish, and all the algorithms. But before we jump into this complex mess of this latest top-notch state-of-the-art algorithms, we have to go with the basics, because people, AI researchers, chess lovers, chess AI practitioners, programmers have been developing chess AI maybe since 1950s. So it has been at least 70 years of research happening. And but to program first the AI, like let's say we are trying to solve a checkmate puzzle that's in one move or two moves or three moves, right? So we have to program this, but there are different algorithms. So our curriculum, I will answer your question by going through our curriculum and then coming to this point which you want me to answer, right? We start with first on historic mind games across civilizations. So mainly European, of course, but Europe includes all this Mediterranean era, Mediterranean geographical board games. And we also include a few of those board games, because all the board games that were played in Europe pretty much, Chaturanga is the word that the word Satranj originates from. Chaturanga in Indo-European languages means four ranks. So we have to tell a lot about how the piece names have evolved. Like in Balkans, in Slavic language, we call Chetiri as number 4, and Chat also means 4 in Indian, and Chaturanga means 4 ranks. And Ranga, again, rank. Everybody understands what rank is in many languages. So this is how our curriculum starts, and then we introduce students to Python programming.
Tamer, sorry, if you can make some zoom in.
Okay. I will do like this.
Yeah, more. Yes, now it's good. Thank you.
Okay, good. So this is first, we start with historic mind games across civilizations. And we talk about various historic board games, like the checkers, Kirkat, 5x5, Ur game, dice game. We talk about this 3-stone, 9-stone Morris, these games we are talking about. and we talk to variants of checkers. We have American checkers, we have Polish checkers, we have Turkish checkers, we have Armenian checkers. When it comes to chess, we have the ancient Satranj, and then we have Rumia Satranj, Byzantine chess. We have the German Läuferspiel. We have the various variants from Satranj from early Spain, Andalusia and Spain. We have to talk about those to create some curiosity about those games, because our ancestors were masters of those games, and these games are about decision making. And then we introduce, if you're going to program the AI, of course, the most popular language of AI is Python. We introduce Python. We will, it's a quick introduction, as quick as it can be, because to program the historic board games will take a significant effort. So we have to introduce all the way up until object-oriented programming. And then here we program first 3-stone tic-tac-toe game, and then we continue with 9-stone, the 9-stone Morris, 9-man Morris in English. Then we can program African Mancala, which was also popular, and it was very popular in multiple parts of the world. It's a stone counting game. And then we have the Ur game from Mesopotamia, and then we have checkers. And checkers actually is very interesting, because in Turkish we call dama, and the word dama, this has a very interesting story. I will open the Wikipedia page.
We in Morocco we play a lot the dama.
Dama. But do you know where the word dama comes
dama.
from? But
But
do you know
not
what
this,
it means?
not this one. No, not this. Not the chess. The dama is something that I don't know. It's
Dama
so simple.
Dama
Not
in
this
English
one.
is checkers. This one. Dama is this. If you jump.
Yeah, it's checkers. Yeah, checkers.
But there's a problem with this. I will tell you and this is what was played in Morocco actually. This is played by Farbot.
Checkers. We call it dama. Checkers. We call it dama. It's the most popular. The most popular board game in Morocco.
Exactly. And that game is actually a great game to practice AI actually. But you see, it says the ancestor of checkers here is El-Kirkat. El-Kirk was brought to Spain by Moors. So Moors are Moroccan people. I'm not saying, but probably from Malta, and the Moors were people of the Maghreb, and they brought it to Spain. And El-Kirkat was the game. And this is the ancestor of checkers. But I recently learned how the game, the Persian name for vizier, so the word queen entered chess by the 1497 book that I showed you earlier, by this book. Where do I show you? I'll show you. So in this very book, 1497, the term queen was used to denote this new piece. But probably before 1497, another term might have been used, and it was previously vizier. Or in Arabic, it was also in Persian, it was farzan, and currently in Russian, they also call it fers. Okay, so the word that was used in Persia is currently used also in Russia. But in first, I learned, French? Do you guys know French, by the way? I assume you know.
So, oui, bien sûr. C'est notre deuxième langue après l'arabe.
I don't
it's
know
our
French.
Second language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you tell me, we will figure this out. And I'm glad I met you, and we're gonna figure out very interesting where the word dama comes. Very few people in the world know this, but I speak very well German. I went to a Turkish German high school in Istanbul, Turkey, and I will tell you to the word Dame Shah, which you told me is not. So Dame Shah, this is the German Wikipedia page, okay? And I will scroll down here.
No, it's not the French. This is the Dutch. So if you make Wikipedia in French, the traduction of the same article, you found the French name.
I want to. My connection is through German, so I checked the German page, and I will check the German, because there is a very interesting puzzle called 8-Queen puzzle. Because we were going, as you remember, through this curriculum. Now, first the board games, then Python programming we do, and then we do historic board games. We program these board games, but we usually in the curriculum don't have enough time to program these. We just program tic-tac-toe, then we program checkers, and then we program chess. So we don't have enough time. Instead of checkers, you can program Kirkat, because checkers and Kirkat very similar games, right? So you can program Dama and then Satran. So these are, and then after you program these two games with some basic functionality, then you can go into the AI algorithms. You can do the adversarial search, which is depth first search, breadth first search, heuristic search, minimax search, alpha beta search. You can then implement all these basic search algorithms that have been perfected since 1950s, and there are enhancements to those algorithms, right? So, and there are also pruning happening there, right? So as we introduce these algorithms, we also introduce some historic puzzles, such as the horse tour, to jump with the horse, like this. I will show you this or app, by the way. Let's open it. Let's say I have a horse here. This is my horse, okay? And this horse can jump here, okay? And then from here to here. The goal is to jump all the squares. Okay, so it will jump like that. The goal of the horse is to jump all the squares possible, right? And travel. And this is the horse tour. This puzzle was asked even before the Kitab-ı Satranç, but it has a solution in Kitab-ı Satranç. And this is a very interesting puzzle to solve with recursive algorithms and other algorithmic techniques in our course. So we also teach that, the horse tour puzzle. So in this, we have this. And then we also teach the 8-queen puzzle. And 8-queen puzzle is this puzzle, trying to place the queen in 8 locations where they don't capture each other. So like this, instead of the horse tour, I have the queen here. And the queen attacks, it was vizier, by the way, in Arabic, but in Persian it was fars, in Russian also called. And then the idea is to place the second queen so they don't attack each other. So this vizier attacks, and my goal is to place all viziers so then they don't capture each other. You see, now they don't capture each other. I place 5 queens on the board, 5 viziers on the board, and they don't attack each other. And this puzzle is a very interesting puzzle. It was asked first in 1850s in Germany by Max Bessel, and later the famous German mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss also attempted to solve this. Okay, so he has an accent. And this puzzle was used in 1972 to first show the first depth first backtracking algorithm. And backtracking is some technique we use in solving AI algorithms very much. We try something, if it doesn't work out, we undo that move and we try a different move. This is called backtracking. And the famous Dutch computer scientist Edgar Dijkstra introduced this true 8-queen puzzle. So the horse tour and 8-queen puzzles are definitely puzzles we hope to teach, and they are very fun to teach, and you can also use in your instruction. I can provide as part of project or Jupyter notebooks, and they are very interesting puzzles to solve. But when I was studying this 8-queen puzzle through the German source, I clicked the German, okay? Now, I found the meaning of first. Let me open my, if I cannot find it, I will open my ChatGPT, and there I have a talk with let me find his name. Basically, I learned what do you call the virgin in French? So the word, this is the answer from ChatGPT. Firzan or fers in Persian was the original name for the piece vizier, okay? And fers sounds very similar to virge in France. Virge. Do you see this word here? Let me zoom in more. Do you see this word?
Yeah.
Do you see this word? So this means the Virgin the Mary, right? And because of this similarity, when chess first arrived to France and it was introduced as first, they believe, according to the German source I read, it was the French that first started to call this piece, instead of the vizier, minister, vizier or ferzan means minister. It's a unisex title, like a minister of a king, right? Minister of a sultan, can be male or female. They thought, because of the phonetic similarity, they thought it was virgin. It was the virgin girl. Now that has evolved over time to dame. So the dame, and the funny thing is that when pawns promote in chess, back then, they were not becoming horses. They were not becoming bishops or elephants. They were not becoming rooks. The only piece they could become was the fers. So you had not the options to promote. You could, for example, I will show you here. So let's open a board. Like I will clear the board. Let's say I have a pawn here, and the pawn moves forward. Right? The pawn moves forward. The pawn moves. And when the pawn reaches the final rank, what should it be?
It could be any other piece.
Yes, but in Satranj, it can only be the first. So it can only be the first. So it will only promote to that. So when the pawn promotes to the final piece, also in checkers, you promote it to first. So that's why the goal of the checkers is to promote as many of your pieces to the first. So it was called, probably, I suspect, in French culture, fers. So as you see here, the phonetic similarity between ferzan and ferch are very similar. So it was probably in French, it was started called the lady, dame, and then it's stuck in German also as dame. That's where the word comes from. So this happened to another word, actually, in chess. Do you know what the word rook means in chess? Do you know the meaning? I'm asking.
You mean the moves or the?
No, the piece name. What does rook mean?
I know only the name in Arabic.
Okay.
So, I don't know what to say.
In French, c'est tour.
C'est tour, right?
In Arabic, I think القلعة.
Okay.
No?
القلعة, exactly. Yeah.
No, but here's the funny thing, right? So in Spanish, you call the piece alfil, and in Arabic also alfil, right?
Yeah.
No, that's for rook, but I am talking about the piece bishop that you know today. Is both in Arabic and in Spanish. It's called alfil. The same field is the elephant, alfil, the elephant. Okay, but the rook was the original Persian word for this piece. Okay, so the rook, the Persians taught Arabs how to play chess. So the original name for this piece was rook. But when the word rook arrived to Spain, they didn't know what rook meant. Because back then in Spain, they couldn't make an understanding as a war weapon what rook could be. But rook actually is what the Roman gladiators used as the war chariot. I will show you some war chariot here just so people can visualize what this is. And this is this is used across civilization everywhere. This is the war chariot, okay? And you see this is the historical map of the usage of war chariots in all the world, okay? So the oldest war chariots were used in the geography. The oldest archaeological findings where chariots were found happen to be in Central Asia, North Central Asia, but you see war chariots have been used all over the geographies, okay? And when it arrived to Spain, at that time, war chariots were no longer actively used. So they thought it must be rock. And what does rock mean in Spanish? It means the rocks of the castle, the rocks of the tower. So they decided it was the tower. And tower in Arabic means kale. So now Arabs, because a lot of migration of this communities from Spain, who were both speaking Arabic and Spanish, when they arrived back, they also brought some Spanish back, right? So they now started to bring to call this piece both the rook and kale. So this is how the game kale. Even in Turkish we call it kale now, and also in Persian they call it both kale and the rook actually, because original name for the term is rook, and the British call it the correct way because it is the original name for the piece, right? So this is, as you see, this is the first. In French it's tour, in English rook, and it's tore. But the original piece name for the piece means chariot. Okay, this is also chariot. Okay. Now, once that stuff is out, all right, I will come back to the question asked by our president. Okay, so we asked, these are the algorithms that we go deep into some of the historic puzzles, right? Inside these puzzles, of course, we also want to solve 8-queen puzzle, the horse tour puzzle, but we also want to show, for example, this very puzzle here, like this Dilara mate, which was asked both in Persia and later asked in Spain. How to solve this puzzle with AI? This puzzle is a checkmate in 5 moves. A good chess master can solve this, but can AI solve it? Can the AI you say can solve it? And this is a very universal puzzle. We are trying to solve this very puzzle with AI. And how are you going to solve this? Well, we're going to solve it with show you. We will solve it with some depth first, some minimax, alpha, beta, right? If it's not easy to solve with our slow Python programming, we will maybe add some heuristics to it, and we will check the check moves first, so we can reach the mate diagnostics quicker, you know. So, but we're gonna solve it minimax and alpha, beta, right? So this is what I mean solving the AI algorithm, solving historic chess puzzles, Satran puzzles with minimax and alpha, beta, which are AI algorithms. But this is more historic AI algorithms. Now they have evolved. Now there have been more enhancements added to this, right? To some little tricks added to the main algorithm to make them more efficient, run faster. And now these algorithms have evolved into AlphaZero, AlphaGo, right? So now in AlphaGo, what happens is you let the computer play itself, and after a certain number of moves, it starts to learn the game automatically and improve its play. So this is a second chapter on our project. But the first, from the historic point of view, we have to go with minimax and alpha beta algorithms, and then we go to reinforcement learning. And reinforcement learning can be also difficult to grasp. It's just we are trying to teach it as simple as possible for high school level. But of course, our curriculum, if you want to go deep at it, it's a PhD subject. It's easy. But definitely, there are puzzles. I have a paper. I had a paper, a presentation on the AI in education conference, which you like. Let me go to Tamer.
Yeah, Tamer. Feel free to show us the Google Scholar. Yeah, to have an idea.
So here I had this presentation as 2020 reinforcement learning on the ChessBoard, and this. I didn't write a proper paper for this because when you write a proper paper, then you cannot get the grant. I instead brought the grant proposal. I got 250K for this proposal. Sometimes it's better to write grant proposals than academic publications. So this is the paper, but like Google DeepMind, if you go to Google DeepMind page, for example, Google DeepMind reinforcement learning, if you type here in this, like Google DeepMind has a recent lecture page where one of the main contributor for the, but this is a very great graduate level course, I think. I am trying to stop this 1 second. So they are teaching this course here, and they are teaching how AI will solve this. They are teaching it slowly. And in the end, the idea is to build the little AI that will make suggestions to find the best move, right? And the AI will play itself in a grid world. Grid world is a chessboard, actually. Whatever they write here, the grid world example, this is a 5x5 example. There's another one from OpenAI called Frozen Lake. I'll just open it. This is some grid world. Like this is, let me see if I can.
It's similar to OpenAI Gym.
Yes, this is OpenAI Gym. Frozen Lake runs in OpenAI Gym, and I am not sure if
for grid world for board games, for example.
Yes, this is
All right.
OpenAI's frozen gym in place. OpenAI's frozen gym is 4x4, okay, like this, you see. And your goal is you're starting from the start phase, and you need to reach G location, which is the goal. And H are the obstacles you have. You cannot press on them. And you are supposed to find the shortest route. Now, you can find the shortest route through depth first search, breadth first search, to some heuristics. You can do best search. There are different algorithms, but one way is reinforcement learning, and they are showing it through that. Okay, this another way. Now, because this 4x4 presentation is similar to a chessboard, I call that back then when I made the presentation Frozen Lake as reinforcement learning on the chessboard. So I explained how this is similar to the chess puzzles with the rook, because here actually you have a rook piece, the word chariot that I just explained you, and you are trying to reach with your car, it's a car, to the goal, from the start location to the goal. So these are many of the similar puzzles we are solving with young children to when we teach how they move. But
It's like the Pac-Man, like that.
exactly, it's like Pac-Man.
Or a mini golf. Mini golf is something like that. You have a start and you have a goal.
Exactly. But now, how do you go from this very basic example we introduced with this example, because the concepts around reinforcement learning, the terminology are very easy to explain on this maze. We can also call this maze or grid. We can also call it chessboard. The concepts, the terminology, as you see this here, look at this terminology. There's a lot of this lecture is 80 minutes long, and you see there's a lot of here. They give a fancy example with Atari, of course, but to do the Atari, it doesn't happen automatically, right? So first you need to start very simple and look at this terminology you see here: prediction, policy, state, observation. And this terminology can be confusing because this is time steps t and time step t+1. So once you understand the terminology around reinforcement learning on a basic board and a basic grid, then we can talk about moving that to another game, right? Which can be chess, which can be something else, but it feels really well with the board games, and then we can program it. But now there is also problems to run all this code on Python, right? So, and if we invest in Python, because Python doesn't run as fast as C++, let's say, right? So that's why you have usually specific frameworks or libraries to run this calculations faster. So that part of our code is not done yet, but there have been implementations of AlphaZero. Let me show Lila Zero. There's one project, open source project called Lila Zero. Basically, AlphaZero did it, right? This is an open source, I think it's an open source implementation of AlphaZero, but programmed in the Julia language, or maybe Lila language. It's a different programming language. It's written in C++. Do you see? It's written in C++. And it's not as easy to develop something in C++. You will be a game programmer if you can program this, right? So we are trying to come up with simplified version of these so we can teach in the high school environment. This the focus of our project, because to open this open source project and code the reinforcement learning that plays chess or improves itself on chess is not as easy. So we are trying to make it as user-friendly, as teachable as possible to teach reinforcement learning on the chessboard. So this is where is this? Yeah, this is the goal of this section in our curriculum. Okay. So what you asked regarding reinforcement learning, there's a lot of content out there, but it can be simplified and also presented in a chess and Satran and historic board game environment. So, for example, we can write an AI, reinforcement learning AI, that masters how to play cricket or checkers, right? Where is the code for that? I'm sure some people have done it, but it's not as user-friendly maybe. Like this is part of a project that we are trying to build. A nice reinforcement learning example that plays and masters the game of checkers, and maybe also cricket, okay? Now, these are the AI algorithms that we're going to investigate. Like, we're going to investigate historic, minimax, and alpha, beta, and heuristic search. We're going to investigate using those some historic puzzles, right? Like, which use also backtracking, recursive methodology. And then we're going to investigate reinforcement learning. But now we also want to investigate some famous and more popular science style news from Chess AI. You talked about Deep Blue, but the story of Deep Blue is fantastic, amazing. So how did they develop Deep Blue? We want to talk about that in the classroom. We want to talk how IBM built this and how many resources they use, what kind of computer architecture they used, how did they prepare for the match, because Deep Blue lost the first match. So we want to talk about this from a more popular news perspective rather than a scientific and AI perspective. And before that, we also want to talk about the Turk. It was an automaton. I will show you here the funny Turk Wikipedia. So you see, it was like this. Do you see the shape? There was a mini man hiding inside playing chess moves. It was like this. You see? He played Napoleon. He also played some famous people. Okay, it was built in 77. And he also solved the horse tour. That machine was able to solve the horse tour. And Theodore beat it. He beat the Turk in Paris 1882. That's the same era when the strongest chess players of the world, like Paul Murphy or like Theodore, lived. And I'm very sure he played Napoleon. Let me see what Napoleon. Yeah, he played. So look at. He beat. With a skilled operator, the Turk won most games played during its demonstration around Europe and Americas for nearly 84 years. This machine played 84 years. Someone was operating the machine, someone was hiding inside. And it beat statesman Napoleon Bonaparte and also beat Benjamin Franklin. Even Benjamin Franklin played chess. So so it's a very funny story.
President of USA. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Samet, can we see a video about the Turk to have an idea on YouTube, for example?
A video about the Turk?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
I will share you this link. This Wikipedia link should be enough. But in our curriculum, we will have a separate section. Look, when we will have some teaching materials, of course. But Wikipedia is quite detailed, if you ask me. But where's our curriculum? So here in our curriculum, we start with the Turk because the Turk also solved the night tour puzzle. So we just show it because Amazon has a Turk as an interesting way to get children think about it, because now they are using AI to get unfair advantage in a chess match, or they are using AI to get an unfair advantage in doing a homework, right? But back then it was the other way around. There was some machine inside was a hidden smart person, and that person making a smart move. So it was a different way of a trickery. So we want children to talk about also AI ethics and what automation means and who is AI. So this is interesting. And then we have also with this we can also talk about some other interesting computer science concepts, of course. Then we have the Deep Blue. Yeah.
Tamer, I have a question, please.
Yes.
As we know, IBM have that AlphaZero algorithm that
No.
I think it's the first time.
IBM has Deep Blue.
Deep Blue, yeah. And AlphaZero, I think it's from Google, no?
Yeah, Google DeepMind, yes. And most recently.
All right. Yeah, because they are another one called AlphaGo.
Yes, AlphaGo plays the Go game. AlphaZero plays chess.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And so my question is, the Turk is the best or the human?
Repeat the question again, please.
In this era when the Turk was the most played game in the world, humans win against that robot, or always the Turk win?
No. The Turk was not a robot. The Turk was a machine. Someone was hiding inside, right? So it was human against human. But of course,
okay. All right.
You see this drawing, right? You see this. Someone is hiding inside. It was not a robot. Someone was hiding inside. But of course, the strongest player of French beat the Turk. But the Turk beat the Napoleon, actually. The Turk beat the Napoleon, but the strongest player of that era, and He also wrote, there's a very famous saying called "Pawns are the soul of the game," a very famous chess saying, and he beat the game, of course. He lost, of course.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a human versus a human.
Yeah, but it was appearing like a machine, like the Amazon Turk, It's like you're hiring the servers, but in the behind, humans are doing the work.
Yeah. Well, what's this Amazon the Turk is Amazon the Turk?
Yeah, Amazon service is similar. Like you're hiring a service, but in the background, humans are doing the work. Cheap labor is doing the work. You're hiring cheap labor to do it.
Yeah, like infogérance, like this something. Okay.
Yeah.
The service is not automated. It's a human behind.
Exactly. And maybe thousands of humans, right? And then I want to talk. Of course, we talk about Deep Blue because Kasparov came to Boston actually like 2 weeks ago. And I also want to mention that I gave Kasparov my chess piece design, where I designed a new elephant piece, like this one. I will show you here. This is my new elephant piece design, okay? Because in Spanish and Arabic, and also in where Kasparov was born in Baku, currently Azerbaijan, he had an Armenian mother and Jewish father, and both in Azerbaijani Turkish, in Armenian, in Hebrew. This is called Elfil, and back then it was Soviet Union, and Soviet Union's official language was Russian. So Kasparov grew up in Russian culture, so he considers himself Russian. In Russian, it's called Sloan elephant. So this piece is called elephant, but Kasparov never played with an elephant in his life. He always played with some other abstraction, but in Soviet Union, they had non-religious pieces, but in the West, now after Soviet Union collapse, and they Christianized the game a bit too much, if you ask me, and he played with Christian, and so I gifted him this piece to say that, hey, we played with you a game of chess back in 27 years ago. It ended with an elephant versus horse, and I played with Casper back then. So just to remind him, I have a photo with him too. Let me, if I can find him, I will show it also. Okay.
Sir Sam, is this part of the Sahi design set?
Yes, that's the Shahi designs. I will show you on my LinkedIn this photo. 1 second.
Because I wanted to ask you about it, and what inspired you to make this this design and the chess icons.
I already told a lot about what inspired me, in the sense that I believe chess should be universal. I'm working hard to make chess a compulsory subject in all over the world, and I am facing a lot of objection from people who can influence the decision makers or the decision makers. And although this is a common heritage of the world, and I believe the form should, some historic forms are very universal, both in Europe and Central Asia and Baghdad, in North Africa and Spain, they're very universal forms. I either use those forms, but I came up with a new form. It took a long time to design, of course. It's a long story to tell you, and I will, of course, dig in a bit deeper. But let me see this thing. So I will find this chat. So this is, there was Kasparov arriving on campus. This is Kasparov, who lives now in New York. This is my chess piece, Elephant. It has a name, I will tell you soon. It's me. This last week, after 27 years. And this is the position, the final position I had against Kasparov in Istanbul in 1997. He has an elephant, I'm black, I have the horse, and the game is about to end in a draw. And I will sacrifice my horse to the pawn. And I don't know if this kurban is halal or not, but I will sacrifice it. So this is what's going to happen. So he will come here, and I will and we agreed on a draw in this game. So I call this piece one of the most famous elephants in the world, which was given as a gift from Harun Rashid, the Caliph of the 1001 Arabic Night fairy tales. He gifted an elephant to the East Roman and German Emperor Charlemagne, and this elephant was called Ebul Abbas. Ebul Abbas means Papa, Father Abbas. That was the elephant's name, and this is a very famous elephant. Beside Ebul Abbas, Wikipedia. See, this is Ebul Abbas. Okay, this is 8th century elephant, which was given from Harun Rashid, and it was brought by the diplomat Isaac the Jew to Sharma, and it was given as a gift from Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid. It's believed also a chess set and a clock was also sent along with this elephant. So I named it after Abu Abbas because it's a very multicultural animal and most famous. And with this, by the way, I want to slowly answer your question on the Shahid chess piece designs. But let me, because you asked me, there's so much stuff happening with the Satran International this project. So I want to just also finish this talk because we were doing the Turk. The Deep Blue was by IBM. AlphaZero was done by the Google DeepMind. And then we also have a project in between Deep Blue and AlphaZero. We have the Stockfish project, which is an open source chess engine, which is upgrading up very quickly based on the latest research. So if AlphaZero develops some latest tools, Stockfish will, because it's an open source project, a lot of people are helping to develop it, they will immediately integrate this latest algorithm into Stockfish. So Stockfish also has something called neural networks efficient update algorithm in it, where the evaluation function of the search is automatically updated by the AI now instead of being updated by the human. So when Deep Blue was made, the AI didn't update the evaluation function. What's the evaluation function of a chess program? Let's say I have a position and I want to find if white is better or black is better. So in this position, without doing any search, I can do some mathematics. I will say if the pieces are equal, then the position is probably equal, right? But let's say I was a horse up, like let's say black didn't have a horse here, and how to notify how strong I am, I have to make some math. I have to sum up all my pieces, and I have to sum up all the opponent's pieces, and then say, hey, I am up a certain number of points, and that's the evaluation function. And this function in modern chess engines has 1,000, like at least 500 parameters, small parameters, and this is being now done updated by AI instead of the human add-ons. So the search algorithms, Deep Blue was using human-adjusted evaluation function, but whereas Stockfish now recently, in the last few years, very recently, switched to automatic updates engine. Okay, so we talk all about that, and these are written by C++, right? So we have to also teach a bit of C++ to run the software a bit faster. But this is maybe we can do it a lightweight high school level curriculum, or we can do a bit heavyweight master, like undergraduate and master's level curriculum out of this. This is a very important part of the curriculum also, right? And then we finish the curriculum with some ethics and environmental impact of AI, right? So a lot of this calculation of AI consumes a lot of energy, and there's also unwanted assistance through AI in many disciplines, both in chess and like in academics, right? How do we deal with that, right? We have to talk about the ethics of AI, and there's a lot of unauthorized usage of data with this, right? So we have this is pretty much the curriculum, and what you have asked about all this data out there on chess. Yes, we can reuse that data from historic puzzles, and we are trying to bring some historic games also from Baghdad or from early books. Some games are recorded. We believe it's more fun to study those games when you discover AI. But yes, of course, you can also do more histograms or more data visualization through chess, because there's huge data out there. And there are, of course, professional software out there, but for as a project to be added to your portfolio as a self-study, I think it's great, and you can use all those open data sets around chess. Now I want to slowly go to the Satranj.ai chess set. I already told you about the elephant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I named it Abu Abbas, as you know. If you go to my, we have another website to promote. We have a website for early childhood chess education, by the way, which I hope we can do it in French and Arabic with you guys. This free of charge websites, which is more culturally inclusive. So we use icons here that are more culturally inclusive. As you see, we have the elephant here, right? We designed the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
This is my design. Okay, we have the elephant, and the top of the Shah also has a dome, like dome of Hagia Sophia, dome of Parthenon at Rome, dome of MIT. And I inspired this based on the dome of MIT, where the wise people or the holy people reside, and thus also has the shape of a rose, like this. You can see that it has the shape of a rose, and that's why it's called Rose Shah. I said Gül Shah in Turkish. Rose Shah stands. So the shape is like a rose, and the dome structure here is also like also Dome of the Rock. The example Hagia Sophia. It could be holy structure or commandant structure of the ruler of the country, and it's a unisex piece again, okay? Because I believe the word Shah. We use the word Banu Shah. It doesn't have to necessarily be the king. It can be also female. And the vizier, the Firzan, which the French. We just talked about why this means in Dame in German and how it might have evolved from probably phonetic similarity between the word Firzan and the French word for that, Firz, like the Virgin. And this is the vizier, where this is the helmet of Jeanne d'Arc. If you ask me, I have a helmet piece here, and I don't know how well this is visible, but you see on the 2D design here, which is similar to the 3D design. You have a helmet with a spiral flutings, and this is similar to the helmets mainly from Central Asia, but at the same time, the very top, the mini onion dome, is similar to Austrian coffee house chess sets, like this coffee house chess sets you see here. For example, here I'll show you. This chess sets here have a mini onion dome top. This is Austrian coffee house chess sets. So it's a mixture of Central Europe and Central Asia designs, and the shape also looks like a tower where the vizier resides, and it looks like also like a pen that you can write onto. Like the viziers of Ottoman Empire, one of the most famous viziers of Ottoman Empire was born in the Balkans. Sokol Mehmet Pasha. Sokol means in Slavic languages in Balkans, and as well as in Russian, eagle. So this is the pen of the vizier, because he gives commands, and the power of the vizier comes from his authority. So that's how I designed. And I named this Sokol, named after that most famous vizier from Europe who ruled Ottoman Empire for under 3 different sultans, right? And another most famous animal from the world, we have the horse piece in chess, and the horse, if you ask the most famous horse of the world, was belonging to Alexander the Great. I was born in Northern Macedonia. Alexander the Great is from Northern Macedonia, and he traveled and conquered all the way to Pakistan, where his horse died. And his horse was called Bucephalus, and the place this horse died is called now Bucephalia, like the land of Bucephal. And that was like 3rd, 2nd century, and that's where chess, a few centuries after, came about. That's where chess was first discovered. So I believe I should call this horse Bucephal, because it's both the horse of the west and the east. It has traveled very long to survive. It is the most famous horse, if you ask me, in the world, and I called it that, Bucephal. And these are the pieces. I called the pawns after Philidor, who beat the Turk. Okay, Philidor beat the Turk that I just showed you, and the pawns. And I'm not sure if you can see the pawn here next to my face. This pawn is similar to the French Regency pawns from the French coffee shops. When the king of the France was losing power, the clergy was losing power, there was a lot of free thinkers. You know, the French Revolution, 1789. People were playing chess in the coffee shops, and the coffee shop they were playing chess at was called Regency Cafe. And I will show you one such photo from Regency Cafe here in this thing. This is Philidor, and this is the Regency Cafe House chess pieces. They have a press sphere, and I tried to keep a similar style here in my pawn, and I named it after Philidor, because he said the most famous thing about the chess pawns in chess. They said the pawns are the soul of the game. Okay. And the rook, I called after Shah Rukh. Shah Rukh was the son of Timur-Lane. Timur-Lane was also a very strong chess player, actually, of his era. And he invented, and he's known that he was playing a version of chess called Timur-Lane chess in the 14th century. and this was played on a larger chessboard, 11 by 10. He loved chess so much, he gave his son the name Shah Rukh. Rukh is the same name that you have in Rukh in English. Shah means Shah, so his name is Shah Rukh. I gave this piece the name Shah Rukh. But this design has 4 elements because it has the bricks of the castle from Spain. It looks like the wheels look like the wheels of the war chariot. It can roll perfectly. And it also has, in Armenian, in Russian, and in Bengal languages, where the boats are important, they call this piece the boat. In Russian is ladya, which means the boat, the ship. So I have a sea anchor here on the side. I don't know how easy it's difficult to see, but we have a sea anchor. The waves and the sea anchor. The boat has anchors that are anchoring the ship to the bottom of the sea anchors. And in Balkans, they call this piece the cannon, the top. Top is the name used also in like Hungarian, I believe, and also in Azerbaijani. And the shape is like the cannon, because when Istanbul was conquered, a Hungarian engineer constructed the famous cannon. And this is the cannon it's called. And that cannon is called Shahi also. Shah is the common name in the Balkans for chess, and a lot of European countries call the name Shah. It's an Indo-European word. Shah is an Indo-European word. And I named the set after Shahi because after this cannon, it's an engineering thing. And this set also took a long while to design. But it has elements from both from Central Asia, Middle East, Central Europe, and it's a very multicultural piece. Okay? So now you have seen all the 6 different pieces briefly. I hope we can get these pieces also to schools in Morocco. And if you can find some schools, yeah, I will be very happy to ship them also to Morocco. Yeah?
Mrs. Tamer, I have a question.
Sure.
It's your project about cheese. It's called Amazing Project. As a cheese and coach education for children, how have you found AI tools and educational approaches enhancing new barriers like understanding techniques and strategy for children and kids to a genre of cheese? What's techniques and strategy for AI tools?
Asma, so please understand, the way chess is taught in the world is not very culturally inclusive, especially in early childhood education. The people who train these teachers are usually in Morocco, you are the center of the organization of Islamic organization has a center on education in Rabat, in Morocco, right? So you are supposed to lead, and you are aware how you are close to European culture, also the American culture. You are a very multicultural location, right? And when we teach children the story of chess, and we want to teach it in a culturally inclusive way, open any chess website now and open how children are learning chess. And some of them, like some of the Jewish friends that I have, they have some platforms where they remove the cross, but they don't replace it with something that's as culturally inclusive. Right now, 99% of all apps out there, chess.com, lead chess, use the crucified symbols. So how are you going to tell the story first? You have to know what you're talking about first. And you have to have a platform to teach it very simply, right, to children. And you don't want to teach too much, right? No one is going to have a chess as a profession. Very few people are going to have a chess profession. But if you want to meet chess and dame and checkers and kirkat, like a few other historic board games from the region, you need to know the story first, right? You need to get the story across that, like, when you play soccer, does the soccer ball have a religious symbol on it? No. When you play basketball, does it have no. Sport brings people together regardless of faith. Right now, the European chip. And when I see chess being practiced by neglect, people don't care in the West. They believe, oh, we made it. No, it was not like that. Chess was played. The half of the world chess champions half of the world chess champions of modern chess, 1850 and forward, were Jewish. They played with non-Christianized chess symbols. They lived in Europe. And now, because not enough Jews are left in Europe, well, you know why, the World War II and the big genocide that happened, right? And now there's not enough practitioners left in Europe that defend some of the cultural artifacts as culturally inclusive and universal. So same goes for chess is one of them, right? But I can name other things, like some small, like let's say yogurt, right? Greeks say this Greek yogurt, but a lot of the Greeks lived actually in Turkey, and there was a population exchange between the two countries to prevent any bad situation, let's say, between the two populations and minorities and Greeks. So in this population, actually, a lot of the yogurt that was consumed in Istanbul became Greek yogurt. Now it's marketed Greek yogurt, but also the word yogurt is a Turkish word. It comes from Central Asia, so the yogurt is also a very multinational thing, right? Like you can talk about other fruit, like in Mediterranean area, there's all these multicultural artifacts. I'm talking about at least food, music, drawings, and chess is one of them, right? So when you teach, you have to teach in a very culturally inclusive way. So that's why I designed these chess pieces, which took a long time to design. I consulted a lot of like miniature artists. Like I consulted my Irish friends in Boston, how we can add a C element here. I tried to make it as culturally inclusive with contribution from different views. And we also did this website, the Satran.art, which we have an exhibition for this actually. I will show you. So this is, here we have 35 photos, but this is actually an exhibition, okay? We have an exhibit at Hagia Sophia. This is Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, which was one of the first churches in the world, a very big structure with the dome top. And this is in the garden of Hagia Sophia, where I speak with the dean of the History of Science department from Fatih Sultan Mehmet University about the evolution of piece names. And it's funny that there was a Rumia chess, like the Byzantine chess plate, Istanbul chess plate in a circular board. We talk about that, how this was probably played in Istanbul. And I believe the first thing is to get this teaching straight, because in the Islamic world, as you know, Asma, we have also a lot of fundamentalist thinking that comes from very back, that music is haram, chess is haram, statues are haram. Like there's a lot of this type of thinking. We are also battling with this. And back in Christian times, when chess was first introduced to Spain and Italy, the Christian clergy said chess is not okay. You cannot play chess. So the priest of Christian, they said you cannot say this. So, but slowly it was adopted, right? And then it was played in Mediterranean era very much. Like there's an opening in chess called Sicily opening. During Fatimid era, Sicily belonged to the Fatimid Sultanate, like Fatimid caliphs, and then Sicily, chess also spread to Sicily. And now the most aggressive opening in chess, most exciting in opening chess is called Sicilian opening. So, but there is no chess opening called Arab opening, no chess opening called Turkish chess opening, but you have the French, you have the Spanish, you have the Italian opening. You have to understand, even the nomenclature around chess is very Europeanized, let's say, right? So you have to be careful how you label things. So that's why I want to, even when I teach chess terminology in 5 languages, not 2, not 3, I'm teaching 5 languages. I teach Shah, king. I teach Dame in German. I teach French word for queen. I teach in Persian, Turkish, Arabic, in Russian. I teach in multiple languages so children understand these names are very similar. So I think this has to be. And for these, I have built a platform, Esme. This deep sea chess that you see we have the icons here. I will show you. The icons are culturally inclusive. I have study sheets like this. Like let's open the study sheet. You can print out the study sheet and give to children and solve 9 puzzles in 20-30 minutes, and you can do some storytelling. And the icons here are very culturally inclusive, right? There you can talk about the piece designs, why this is elephant, why this is a helmet of John Dark or Timur Lane's helmet. You can talk why this is the dome. You can talk about the pounds of Fildor. You can talk about the horse also, right? So and there is right now no good chess platform or kits, and I'm trying to get with the Satran International nonprofit that we set up. We have set up a nonprofit in Boston. We are trying to raise some capital, of course. We are trying to have people. Firstly, we want to organize some chess tournaments with universal chess pieces. Almost all the chess tournaments you see organized right now internationally are with this, let's say, Christianized pieces, right? If you want to bring all the children of various faiths and various ethnicities together, the chess tournaments should be more equal. So I want to organize these, and I call this Satranj International. We also could have called it Chaturanga International, it's their name. And the word ajedrez is also a Spanish word, and xadrez, Portuguese word, are relevant for Satranj. It could have been also called that, right? So now I'm trying to get this also to Arabic, the platform I just showed you, the Deep Sea Chess. It now exists in three languages, English, Turkish, and Mongolian. We also did some project in Mongolia. And in Mongolia, they call the elephants camels, by the way. Okay, they call it the camels. So we have camels, yeah. So you have to make a camel sacrifice there. To win the chess, you have to make a camel sacrifice.
I really like it.
So, but this platform is now ready, and teachers in Morocco can log in with guest as username, and passport is 2024, and they can teach, right? So when you log in, you have all the puzzles, and I can also send you the study sheets, and you can solve all the puzzles in the classroom. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I hope that gives you some answer. There's of course a need to train teachers in all geographies, Muslim or non-Muslim countries, on historic board games, because chess is also a bit overhyped. Maybe you also need to just teach checkers and a few other games, right? But this teacher training needs to be done by someone expert. So I hope with Satranj International, we can collaborate with organizations such as yours, where we can offer teacher training. We give a 1-day, 2-day teacher training, and we certify them to instruct chess and Satranj and Shah together, right? So I think that's what should be done right now in the world to improve the quality of education through chess. We need to give teacher trainings in a very culturally inclusive and historically accurate and correct way. So that's my answer.
Thank you.
I think for me personally, I love the way you speak about chess, Mr. Tamer, because sadly, but usually for us, for many people, especially parents, it's just a game. So it doesn't really take that much importance when it comes to teaching it or learning about it. But the problem is that there is no one whoever speak to me about the history of chess, because when you speak about history, it becomes so much interesting, and it's no more just a game, but it's more than that. So I think that's the thing that we need to
and it's not haram too.
What you said is a huge thing, actually, very important. We cannot call just Quran and Hadith as the only object that you take from our geographies, right? The people who lived in Central Asia, in Middle East, in North Africa, had some things with them: food, music, some art, board games. Egyptians played board games 2000 years before Christ. They have like paintings of them, like drawings of them playing some board game. It's not sure what they're playing, but maybe they are playing Kirkat, maybe, I don't know what they're playing. Maybe playing Ur game, it's not clear what they're playing, but they're playing some board game for sure. And this is also part of our common cultural and intellectual heritage. The Troy battle between Greece and the Troy city, right? There are pots where Greek soldiers are playing some board game there. What is that board game? Can you believe some puzzle was asked in Baghdad that was unsolved for 1,000 years? Because Muslim chess players, Muslim scholars were not curious to solve it. And there's, of course, some, as you know, fundamentalist thinking. Chess is haram, music is haram, statues are haram. Statues are also beautiful. If you construct a beautiful design object that appeals to human beauty, it's a good thing. Like when you design, I don't know, some object, any object, that's a design. You can call it a statue design, but that's how you build stuff. That's how you build an economy. You cannot neglect it as part of the human economic experience, like science of economy, right? When you miss some artifact from human experience, you cannot be as competitive. Right now, it will have been very easy, actually, Kaftar, to organize. There are like 2 billion, 1/4 of the world appears to be in Muslim countries, right? It's very easy. There are 140 million children born every year. 1/4 of those happen to be 35 million, probably in Muslim countries. It's not hard to spread all of them with the organization in Rabat, Morocco. We can reach to all children in Muslim-speaking countries, Muslim-believing countries, one platform for chess and other history. It's not hard to train all the parents and teachers, but that requires some pro bono work. Either organizations like you have to help me out, get the word out. We need to find volunteers, organizations like Moroccan data scientists in 50 countries to get the word, and we need to organize trainings, right? And then we have the platform, and then we have to also negotiate with the Minister of Education, say, hey, this is something useful. This is part of our history. Let's teach this, because this also helps with STEM. This also helps with learning languages in Muslim. This also helps with not being a fundamental, like, extremist Muslim, you know? So this is all important. But my experience in trying to do it in Istanbul and Turkey, I was not as successful as I hoped. Unfortunately, leaders in Muslim countries are very focused on big projects, construction, big shows. But when it comes to fix some little detail and make it really spread it out, it doesn't happen. How you can do it? That's what I am now in Boston. I set up this nonprofit with, of course, global ambitions. I also set up Boston Children's Chess Foundation for local projects. But for internationally, we have a nonprofit. We can get some endowment, maybe from some wealthy foundation or a businessman, right? We can get it. We can organize yearly tournaments. But what comes is exactly, we need to organize trainings of both teachers and parents. That we can scale, right? Then we can have enough trainers. If we had 10,000 trainers in every country, we can teach the entire world with this, you know. Okay, so. But I do agree. So during British colonization era, but even in Spain and Italy, the Christian clergy embraced this game. They didn't slowly, they allowed this game to be played. Like you see, it's called Italian opening, right? It's called the Spanish opening, right? And then, but the British clergy during the colonization era, they embraced it one step more, because they were fighting South India, the Muslim Mughals. Like they thought maybe this game was a Muslim chess, but actually chess predates Islam. You know, chess is older than Islam, right? So, but they wanted to use this game as a way to promote also Christian terminology. Okay, you can do. I like when a faith embraces chess so much. It's a good thing. I like chess. But what did the Muslim and the Jewish scholars do? I mean, even today, I am facing Qatar. I'm meeting very wealthy people. I'm meeting decision makers who are giving me grants. I regret to tell you, one of the words they get out of their mouth is, was it chess haram or not? What is this? So there's the Turkish Islamic dictionary on the clause of chess. It explains on the permissibility of chess. There are very famous scholars in the West, such as Hamza Yusuf. Maybe you heard about him, right? He has a paper on the permissibility of chess, okay? I look at that paper, the symbols he used have the cross and also is the bishop mitre. Even the Muslim clergy doesn't do it the correct way, telling us, right? So you have to understand there's a lot of confusion around this, because this historical element of this is neglected in this speech, okay? So we need to train people, including scholars of Islamic. But of course, if you're going to call music haram, chess haram, and statues haram, this makes a very difficult way of living life. You have to understand, right? But if you're going to accept not everything can be lived like it was like 1400 years ago, you can then, of course, have chess as a very strong educational tool. Because now it's difficult to put chess in it's difficult to put a computer in every classroom, but you can put chess as a critical thinking tool in every classroom. You can put a chessboard and you can play with the stones, checkers. You don't even need to play chess. Like, stones are free on the ground. You can grasp stones and you can play chess. It's not that hard, you know? So, or checkers, even checkers.
I think, as you said, chess is an educational game. I think, for me, the major argument I've heard about chess is being haram is because it's a waste of time. So I think people don't really recognize that chess is not just a game. It can teach you a lot of things, and it's
also,
not for everyone.
You have to understand, right? Google DeepMind built AlphaGo, before that AlphaZero. These are game algorithms, and now they are using AlphaFold to predict protein shapes and solve a very long unsolved problem. Gamification, simulation. Chess is a game of war. How are you going to simulate war? Why did Timur Lane win so many battles? Are people thinking? So now, before you fight, now they're simulating the war in the scenario. They're checking out all the simulations and trying to optimize their winning probability, right? So chess is also like that. So saying it, the loss of time is a very narrow way of thinking, unfortunately. And I hope that Arabic youth, Middle Eastern youth, will choose leaders that see chess as a strong educational tool. It comes down to the leader, because Ministry of Education or maybe a non-profit movement like yours, Satran International, we can train, and we can have a federation in the government, and we can promote it. We can train teachers to teach these board games in an educational setting. There's a lot of work to be done. Let me get some water.
Go ahead, Kausha.
I think about want to say something.
Yeah, so Tamer, I'm really so glad to have you today in our live, okay? Because both of us share the same mindset. So me too, when I start this community, MDS, the main objectives is to be a non-profit organization and to work all together, because we are all winners. For example, the Data Stack initiative is to enhance the peer-to-peer learning. So when I see all what you do in strange.ai is something very good, and maybe later we can have some chat
Sure.
to
Very
suggest you some ideas, especially in the marketing side, to really to because it's called the gamification, how to learn from games, and chess is the best example to develop and enhance and augment our IQ, our intelligence,
Sure.
our mindset, our decision making, our problem solving too. So
Yeah, problem solving
it's
skills.
yeah, it's some skills that don't teach it on schools. So
We need to translate our curriculum slowly to French or Arabic. So, right, I have Jupyter notebooks. I will teach in English too, their curriculum, but the English needs to be translated to French, or like Arabic, right? There you can help, right? We will have 16 lessons, not too much, but also not too little. So that and then we can do boot camps in Morocco also. In any country you want, we can do boot camps, and boot camps we can do it for a fee to get some cash to the project, to get going. But the content will be free of charge, because this is already funded project, so the content will be free of charge. People can access it, but if you want to teach it, we will be the organizer of this boot camps.
yeah, so exactly. Sorry, Kauchar. Exactly to have that bootstrapping, scaling business model. You should make a freemium, and then it's like an inbound marketing strategy, and to catch the attention. And even that, if someone really interested, he pay. It's, so it's like a freedom, like an open source. We found that in all organization, also in big companies like Google, like Amazon, always the collaboration and open source mindset is exist. So count us, count me, count Kauchar, Asma, and all the MTS community in the translation. Maybe on the bootcamp, we have the summer. We can really
Very
organize
good.
something together.
I'm
Yeah,
very happy
and
because
address the
Actually,
yeah.
that was my question.
you can do
I
it
was
in
about to
Morocco.
ask, how is it
It's
possible
easy.
to join you? Because
Okay. So here's the thing.
I
Right? So,
okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I saw there is a form in the Shatran's international website.
Yes.
There is a form to join you. Is it the same one to
Yes,
join
yes.
the team?
This is the website in Satran International. If anyone thinks they can be helpful to me, all right? To me, when I say me, it's really, I don't want to call it a one-man show, because I have a lot of support already. I'm grateful for everybody helping it, but I am the initiator. I'm like leading something. So if you write me your name, email, international phone number, that's WhatsApp friendly, right? And then your message, who you are, or you can attach a PDF to who you are, what your background is, and how you can. And I list here possible ways we can collaborate, right? We can, for example, I have the Shahi chess pieces, right? I want to send it to schools. and one chess set costs like, let's say, $5-10 to produce in Turkey, but some cost in producing and shipping them, right? Who's going to pay this? Or maybe you don't need chess pieces. Maybe you just need the platform to be. We need the platform to be in Arabic. This deep sea chess, right? So that's missing in Arabic, or in French is missing. That translation is missing. And I don't want to translate in any way. I want to translate in a culturally inclusive way. I'm teaching in a more careful way. I'm trying to be not excluding any minority, So I want it to be both kosher and halal, and also righteous as in Christian righteous, So, and I also want it to be a bit agnostic. Maybe I want it to be more atheist. I want to be welcoming to all faiths, regardless. And then we have other projects. We have an exhibition which we can do in your city. So these are all the possible ways that came to my mind. If you have something else, you can write. And then from here, we can take the next step. But I think we should start with just some translating, and we can have another session with your private session with your group, and we can prioritize what are our next steps. And obviously, deep sea chess translation to Arabic, and also Satran AI curriculum translation to Arabic and French are huge things. If you can help, it's perfect. And then it will be much easier to organize teacher trainings, and it will be much easier to organize. Another thing is because in Rabat is the center of the education center of organizational of Islamic collaboration. What we can do is Satranj International is a nonprofit. We can affiliate it with that, and we can do some other projects in, let's say, in all North African countries or some other countries, But first, we need to, our content needs to be very proper, That's what I need to. So you can sign up. Anybody interested can. We also have a WhatsApp group here, which I use for outreach. I also have another WhatsApp group for friends. So in this WhatsApp group, we communicate. So we have a WhatsApp group, and I hope this organization to grow. I hope in every country we will have one branch, one NGO to help us. So once we have 50 NGOs in 50 countries, it's already a super strong organization.
Yes, so from our side, as I said before, yes, we can collaborate. We can have lots of things together. We can also help in the translation part. So maybe if you have a good paper about collaboration paper, okay, send it to me. And from my side, maybe do you hear me? Test it.
Yes, I'm hearing.
All right. Maybe
Yes,
I can say with the ISESCO, is the Islamic World Education Organization. It is in Rabat. Maybe we can say also with the Ministry of Education, and if they are open to collaborate, maybe we can grow together. So
yes.
That's it. Yeah.
The maximum you can do in a country is as follows. You reach the Ministry of Education and you say, I'm going to train your teachers to instruct with this curriculum. This is the max. Like if you can do it for early childhood and for AI for high school, that's great. If they don't want to do high school, we can do privately. We can train our own teachers, instructors, and they can do the boot camp. So that's also a little different.
Yeah. Training of trainers. That's it.
Yeah. And then host some boot camps, maybe some hackathons, some tournaments to get the word out, because there's also a need. People want to socialize and attend some hackathons, some tournaments, right? So these organizations are also sometimes not easy to do. If you're experienced organizing them, it's very easy to organize. But if you are doing the first time, not as easy. The chess pieces, the chess clocks, the hackathon needs a projector. The AI will play each other. You need to project. Maybe you need to call a guest speaker to talk about AI algorithms, right? So you need to make it a nice event for young people to get interested into this chess programming, Satranj programming, AI
programming. I just wanted to say that schools could be a good partners for this initiative, since if they know the importance of chess, I mean, the way you explain it, I think they won't say no.
But the decision makers, the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, it could be included on the education program.
Yeah, if you can convince from bottom, the higher ups, then it's easy to go top down. But if you go individual schools, one school by school, it's not as easy, because it's difficult to inject something into the curriculum. But you can work with the private school chains. They might be more open. They're very good, and they can even pay a small thing, right? it can happen. But of course, the ideal scenario is you have very intellectual and aware people in the Ministry of Education who understands the importance of this. I failed in Turkey. I know the current Minister of Education of Turkey. Okay, I failed. I am trying in a light way. I could be trying much harder in Turkey, but I gave up. So I'm trying again. I have supports in Turkey, of course. They told me also to do something with Morocco because of this education research center. But I have supporters, of course. Like, I mean, they're not alone, right? People understand this is an important part of a region of cultural heritage, and this can have good impact on education. Everybody has addiction to the screen time now. People are addicted to the screen. You know how addicted children are to the screen?
Yeah.
If they play the board game with their parents, grandfather, that takes off just a very intergenerational game. You can play this board games.
Yes, I mean, instead of being addicted to just video games that are the actual waste of time, they could do something beneficial like chess.
And I'm not saying be a professional chess player. Just use chess to learn some math, some history of the world, some cross-cultural understanding, and then channel that interest to AI programming. The AI is the future, right? You're programming AI, and this is a very good thing.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, Asma has a startup, I think, that is focusing on children. So she can start. So she can start.
I have a school. Yes, I have a preschool for children. I'm started preschool, so I started to engagement my kids for player chess in club or something like that. So I have a problem with the parents. It's so hard to attract your parents to their children join to play chess, like you know.
To play what? The parents...
It's so hard. Yes, it depends about culture and the environment too. Yes, it's so hard.
They want to learn chess or board games. What do they want? What's difficult?
Yes.
I didn't get what's difficult.
She said that it's difficult to convince parents to let their children play chess, to make it part of the educational program.
It is difficult because of this. I'm sorry, but music is haram. I repeat again, statues are haram. You can look up the hadith and everything around it. Okay, Hazreti Ali saw children playing chess. He didn't say anything. Okay, so there is a lot of chess being played in the region, and Caliph of Abbasid era, the most famous Caliph Harun Rashid, the Caliph of 1001 Arabic Nights, he gifted an elephant and a chess set and a clock to Harun Rashid. How is this saying chess haram? During Abbasid era, they were sponsoring chess masters to write book of Satran. At the same era, Al-Khwarizmi wrote on mathematics. If this is similar to saying mathematics is haram, because it's a waste of time. Instead of cows, we are just doing some GPR and mathematics. So you have to think like that. So you have to tell them, we need to teach this because it's part of our heritage, and we need to prepare good materials for them. Asma, we need to prepare good materials. I will send you some PDFs. We have to prepare own unique materials that's convincing to both parents and decision makers in the education. Or maybe shoot some videos, right? Once these materials are good, they will be more perceptive to the idea, maybe we were needing more. Maybe this can be some strength to add our children, bring the community together and remind ourselves our common heritage, right? We need better materials to convince them, because I face this in America. When I talk to a decision maker in the Boston public schools or like the Massachusetts Department of Education, I face similar objections. Why chess? I say, we want to teach American checkers. American checkers is part of American heritage. I want to teach American checkers. This is bringing people together. You have so many different ethnicities in America. You need to bring them together around sport. And why not American checkers, right? It's a great game. In Morocco, it can be kirkat. Depending on geography, you have slightly different games that are bringing people together. It's a good thing.
Asma, what do
you
you
have
think?
work to do, Asma. You have work to do.
Yes. As for me, I see just chess is so impactful. It's not just a play. It's so about cultures, psychology, and thinking. So it's so impactful.
And if we don't protect this as heritage of Middle East or Mediterranean, someone else will come and say, this is mine, right? So if you cannot protect this, someone else will come and say, it's called
Yes,
cultural
exactly.
appropriation. That's okay. Like you can take somebody else's culture and say this is mine, right? But if you don't protect what's yours, like if you don't say this also mine, that's the problem, right? It's
Yeah,
just
when you
part
know
of
it's something related to your history, you feel the urge that you need to protect it, like to keep it.
Yes.
all the Maghreb was probably involved. Like Sicily, when chess arrived Sicily, this was during Fatimid Empire, Fatimid Caliphs. So Sicily was there, and chess arrived during that era. And now Sicilian opening is the most famous opening in the chess, and everybody thinks Italian opening. No, it was not. It was played. Both Arabs were playing, Jews were playing, Christians were playing. Everyone was playing this game back then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So I have another question. I think it's a bit stupid, but I would ask. No,
Just go
my
ahead.
question is because I see that there is many advanced algorithms and especially artificial intelligence in general that could solve chess, and they already have bet, for example, Kasparov. So long ago. So my question is it possible, for example, at one point that humans will beat those algorithms? I mean, using only the human intelligence can beat the artificial intelligence algorithms that play chess? Or is it always already done? Always artificial intelligence gonna win against humans?
So there was a time I remember I was beating AI when I got my first chess computer in 1990. I was 10 years old. It arrived from Sweden, from my uncle in Sweden. I was born in Balkans. Some of my relatives moved to Sweden. They sent my chess computer. I was able to beat it. I remember beating the AI. So I also remember how AI was getting slowly better. And today, a different type of chess has emerged, if you ask me. You can call it cheating with AI or getting computer assistance when playing chess. But if I have computer assistance, okay, and you also have computer assistance, same as in a real world scenario. If I was working for a company and you are working for a company, or two companies are competing to win a government bid or something, I am allowed to get AI assistance, right? I am allowed to get AI assistance to write a better proposal, to decide better with data, right? You're also allowed to do that. That's the real world. So now when we play chess in a sportive way, you can say, I make it so that you cannot use AI because we want to be in fair conditions, Maybe you are very rich and you can afford to buy a rich computer, big computer, and you have a lot of money to pay for this decision making. And I am a poor boy and I cannot buy a smart chess computer, and that's illegal. Or maybe the rules were such that AI is not allowed when playing chess, but you go to the bathroom, you open your cell phone and you check for the best move, you come to the board and you play the best one, you beat me and you get the prize money. Or you are so prestigious, you won the tournament, I go home and cry, right? So to be fair, this is all about AI ethics, right? So, but the real world scenario, you're allowed to use any weapons in battle. You are allowed to beat your opponent. You're allowed to use any weapons, right? So same goes here. So I think right now, when it will be more fair to me, if you ask me, if people were playing some chess or other board games with the help of AI, but the platform that they are playing will give them equivalent AI, okay? Some similar AI. If you want to just play it as a sport, even a tournament, they can be AI assisted. Some AI can be shared with them. But then this reduces the aspect of the sport, right? Why do people watch soccer or sport? Because of the thrill, because of the mistakes people are about to make. You watch basketball to watch how people fail also, there's an arena there, so if it's going to be business, maybe it's better the way it is, that you limit people to play there. But I think definitely there's a need to incorporate more AI into sports, into decision making sport, also make it a spectacle, like a spectator sport, and there will. So humans are now very much behind chess. Like I can play the first 10, 15, 20 moves near perfectly, and then I can also come up with very good moves. But because I make some inaccuracies in chess, and the AI will figure out those inaccuracies better than I do, little by little, because I have some probability of making some inaccuracy, little by little, I will end up in an inferior position. Maybe I can hold that position to a draw, but that makes it very difficult to beat the opponent, because to beat the opponent, you have to be at the top of your game And if the computers make some inferior move, you need to punish it consistently, 10 times one after another, every move, right? That's very difficult to do. Maybe a human can hold a draw, and this happening, like you're able to hold a draw, but to beat the opponent computer has become near impossible. Okay, like in normal time control. Of course, if I go home, if I consult another supercomputer, I can beat that. It can be, but also chess is becoming a very solved problem now. Computers are able to solve chess so good that any game between computers is resulting in a draw. It's difficult to use chess as a training ground. Now they're using LLMs as a training ground, but even then they are cheating. So when they are training the LLMs, they are saying, "Oh, my LLM is smarter than yours." But what they have done is they just fed the training data in the test data to the training, and now your LLM already knows the answers that it's supposed to answer, and then it gives the answers, and then you say, "Oh, my LLM is better." So they're also doing this, maybe some tricks is even happening there, So I don't really trust the latest evaluations.
So the best outcome is a draw, but winning it's nearly impossible against AI.
To beat AI, but there are other problems, right? Chess is not the biggest problem for humanity, right? We have a lot of life sciences problems. We have a lot of problems around mathematics, computer science, language. Like we are trying to solve language thinking, right? Even the LLMs right now don't have incorporated logic to it. Like the LLMs don't solve everything. Just they're good creators of text, but when it comes to do some logical thinking, they're missing, right? And so we have bigger problems, but chess and board games are a good playground to learn all these AI algorithms, because you get to learn all these AI algorithms and get ready for the bigger problems, right? Like economic problems, right? How to spend the government money better, right? Science of economics, right? Data, like a lot of data, like blue economy, green economy, like science.
Another question, and sorry for another question is how, if I want to learn chess, what is the best thing to start with? I mean, not the basics, but I mean to play to the right way, to get deep in chess, not to be a grandmaster, but just to
Now, it's a good
to make
question.
chess beneficial for you.
That's a very good question. The problem about
sorry
chess
to interrupt, because previously I started learning chess. I learned only the basics, but then I gave up because I don't really see
this is a very
the
important
importance.
question. This is a very important question. But unfortunately, all the chess platforms you see outside, except maybe Deep Sea Chess and a few others, they are teaching chess without any focus on the cultural inclusiveness, like I said, without a focus on the history. So they're neglecting something that I will consider very core. They're focusing on the mathematics and geometrics of chess. And yes, they might have a great course that teaches modern chess, but they're missing something very important, right? So I will say, if someone wants to improve, they can just start with these puzzles here, okay? Because this is a 64 lesson curriculum. Up until 30, I have puzzles. And when you solve a puzzle here, you are improving your tactics, okay? I need to make this website better, include some videos, like more training videos, but this is a good start. And then we can probably have a good instructor that teaches you chess, and that we can pre-record videos just like other chess channels. We have to record videos that are more, let's say, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern friendly, and more culturally inclusive, and that's the best way. So you need to learn from the better guys. You need to go to tournaments. Learning is not enough. You need to also go to a tournament and play. There are not even enough good tournaments done right now, because of the cultural problems I just pointed out. So you can learn from Deep Sea Chess, right? You can solve this 32 puzzles, and you can. I am planning to do also online chess lessons actually here, weekly. Okay, we'll probably have it, and we can find instructors and teach. And that's another work we have to do. A more culturally inclusive chess curriculum and Satran curriculum. Because, like, let's say, let's type chess video purchase, okay? I'm just typing it, okay? I'm just saying, okay? And chess DVDs, everything. Chess shop, Amazon, they're great. US chess sales, House of Staunton, like everybody's selling chess videos, right? These are great videos, right? And now I'm gonna show you all the visuals. Okay. Chess assistant. Okay. You see the cross. Chess masterworks. Okay, at least these guys have something else. Okay. Finally, you see some masters are smart. They're putting some historic chess pieces. But even inside, but United States Chess Federation, okay, has the cross, okay, because US is a very Christian country also. They are using the cross, but I think they are missing a good opportunity to present chess in a very culturally inclusive way. So because United States also has a lot of non-Christian or they have a lot of various cultural backgrounds and ethnicities and they could use chess to bring people together also. So I will suggest you start with Deep Sea Chess if you want to do the halal way, and then we are about to start some weekly training, like some student boot camps, and you can come and you can be a trainer too. Like you can solve some puzzles and get better. Okay. Start with this. Deep Sea Chess is free. Okay. You will 32, and I need to shoot probably more videos. There are a lot of video instruction we need to create for chess. Okay. High quality video instruction we need. First time, I will just say chess on demand. Like, look at this show. This is a website. There's a lot of chess on demand. You see, this website is teaching some chess, right? 350 hours. Do you see? Someone shot videos for 350 hours.
Yes.
And you see the logo of the guy, the crucified king, and I cannot find the diagrams, but you see he's selling chess pieces and stuff, right? So we have to shoot similar videos for this. And some of these are great players, like Susan Polgar from Hungary. Now, actually, after Queen's Gambit on Netflix, they are shooting Judith Polgar's story from Hungary. She comes from a Jewish family, but so she has all those instruction. You see, it's a great instruction.
I think.
But this is a great instruction, but you see again the symbols the bishop are Christianized and crucified. So, but the story around chess was not as Christianized. Like in the 1950s, early masters, 1850 to 1950s, they were all very universal. It's only a recent phenomenon chess got so Christianized. Okay, it wasn't like this. I don't know how much I could explain, but I regret to inform you, there is right now no good halal platform to teach chess. So that's why I set up Satran International, and I'm doing something. And now there is also others. They say, "Oh, we removed the cross from chess," and instead they put the French, the lil. Like you know this symbol from France, flower de lil. You know this? Let's see. I'll find. I'll see. Fleur de lis. Do you know this symbol? Do you know this symbol?
Yes.
Now, this was the arms of the king's.
It's also used on ChessBoard.
Yes, it's also used on ChessBoard. Sometimes instead of crest to use. But as you see in this Wikipedia page, you see what it says. The fleur de lis, also spelled as fleur de lis, okay, is a common heraldic charge. Heraldic means related to the kingdom, king, in the shape of a lily. In French, fleur, lis means flower, lily, respectively. Most notably, the fleur de lis is depicted on the traditional coat of arms of France that was used from the High Middle Ages until the French Revolution 1892. And French Revolution, in a way, was good because it brought free thinkers. I mean, you can argue the king was maybe controlling a lot of science also, right? Supporting a lot of science. Maybe that science is gone, but a lot of free thinkers came about. And you can see here, other European nations also employed the simpler. The fleur de lis became at one and the same time a religious, you see the word? Religious, political, dynastic, and artistic emblem is symbolic, especially in French heraldry. So now you know this is a religious symbol. And what does this?
So it's not no
so even that's
a problem. It's not just a simple symbol.
It's not a simple problem. Yes, they use this also in the Bosnian flag. I come from both Balkan countries. I was born in Yugoslavia. They also have this Bosnian flag. But understand, this is a very explicitly used in Europe as a Christian. You see this crown, right? You have the cross, crown, clusters. This is used where it is used. No need to explain this. And people are putting this in. And then instead they are using something else. You know, Coptic cross. Now, I like my Egyptian Christian friends. They have a lot of them in in America, right? They're great people, and I really admire the Christian clergy and Christian people who embrace chess so much. But look here. So this is early symbols. This is the Christian religion didn't use the cross until the 4th century. Okay, originally Christianity, they were not using the cross. You can read about the history. Okay, so you can read them. So the original Christians didn't use the cross, and when they started to use, some Christian groups also use the Coptic cross, which is Egyptian cross. Okay, they use this version. You see this cross? You see this? This kind. Now they are changing the cross on top of the king. Let's say just
to include those symbols.
Yeah, instead of the cross, they are saying, "Oh, I've removed the cross." Said king was like, and then they are putting, like instead of putting this type of cross, right? Instead of putting like any of this type of cross, they are saying, "Oh, we're gonna put a cross." I'm gonna show you something. They are putting something like that, which is still a cross, but they say, "Oh, this is Coptic cross." Like they are putting the base of the cross inside the piece like this, and they are saying, "This is also a cross." So you cannot argue with these people. Like they are saying, "Oh, this is not a cross. This is also a cross." This is all the problem.
Yeah.
So, and now, of course, and then you have the fundamentalist Muslims saying, "Oh, chess is haram." So we are left as the promoters of chess as an educational tool. We are left within these two groups. One of them is very fundamentalist Muslims who say chess is haram, music is haram, statues are haram. Then you have on the other group, the Christianizers of chess, who are trying to make chess as not culturally inclusive as possible, and you are trying to promote chess. And chess is your heritage, and you are doing it because you believe this is what your ancestors play. So what are you supposed to do? You have to tell this truth. You have to tell this true story. You have to prepare new materials. And I will show you even in this talk. I will just open a talk on the permissibility of sex. This is one of the leading scholars in Islamic thought in the
It's not like we have something against Christians. It's just the fact, as you said before, chess should be a universal game, not
yes.
don't need to include any religious symbols.
Yeah. So now, like the French had a huge secularist movement, right? The French secularism, which is a debate in many Muslim countries. Should we be fundamentalist or secular? So secularism is a good thing, right? And what does French secularism say? Don't include religious symbols in the public. So it's a good way, right? So in a way, it's a good way. So, and I'm going to open some article here to you. This article was written in
you
2006.
mentioned this before.
Yes, I'm going to download this article now. I'm not sure if I can.
Yes.
Artist. But this article, I'm going to scroll down. So in this article, they have some nice chess pieces, as you see. And it has some nice miniatures from the Persian youth playing chess. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to download this article. And here, this is an article by a top Islamic scholar in the United States. Okay. I want to show you and he's a very modern guy. He defends a very modern way of Islam, but understand when you're very stuck on the old teachings, you miss the big picture. And look, this is one image from this, okay? He put a chess set here. You see the chess pieces?
Yeah.
Does everybody see the chess pieces? I will also zoom in.
There is no cross.
You think there's no cross, but there is a big cross here, and I will show you, so you will get it. So. You'll be surprised that this is an official article. Right? This is, by the way, Charlemagne's set. Even Charlemagne's set didn't have a cross. But look at this. So do you see the cross on the shield of the knight?
Yeah.
Because the knights, the Crusader knights, the Crusader knights actually love chess. They love to play chess. Okay, so because they are traveling long time to capture Kudus, and this is the Crusader knight. So he's posting a cross crucified chess piece to promote the halalness of chess, and he's a top scholar of Islamic thought, very beloved by the world. And he makes a mistake. Okay, what can I do? So we need materials to tell the true story, and this is obviously a bad example. Of course, the article is good, but the photo choice is bad. Of course. So, and I will show you another photo here toward the end of the article. This is a long article, a lot of, but there's similar articles that exist, of course, on the permissibility of chess. 1 second, let me. I need to download this article. I don't know. I cannot find. I need to download this article. So let me try to download. 1 second. Wow. This PDF exists somewhere. So now I will, maybe in this article, I will follow this. Okay. I'm downloading now. Okay. Now I downloaded and I will open it. But I want to open it on.
I don't think
Can you see the article now?
I don't know.
Can you see the article? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it now. Yeah.
Can you see the article? Okay.
Yes, we can see.
I'm scrolling down. So you see the cross onto horse. There was another thing that I couldn't see here now. This article had a first page, which I cannot see now, but the very first page of the article maybe he removed it after my comments. I don't know. The first page also had a cross. At least you see, at least I want to see. Okay, I see. But this is an article on the permissibility of chess. But all this debate that something is haram and halal is actually very problematic, because in Quran it's very clear that who makes something haram for my believers. There's a very Quran
verse.
My what is this? I'm unusual traffic from my thing. I'm not a robot. There are a lot of verses to not call things not haram. Okay, not haram. Okay, so even to call something haram is a big sin, actually. So this is a problematic. But we need to defend or hold our ground if you want to promote chess as a tool. But that's also pretty much the reason why you cannot use it as a good educational tool. Okay? But we have to prepare good materials, go with OIC. This. And in the non-Muslim world, again, there's a lot to be done, because they are more perceptive. Let's say in Latin America, they are more perceptive to use chess to learn languages and chess. In the US also, they are perceptive. You can teach in the US also on culturally inclusive board games, not just chess, a few others. It's a bundled curriculum you can teach. Okay. Okay. Do you think we should slowly come to an end, or you can take other questions if you have? If not, we can slowly come to an end.
I can't hear you.
Do you think we should come to an end? Maybe we can come to an end. Slowly, we can reach an end.
Yes, I think there is no other question.
Okay.
I don't know if Pat want to add something, or Isma.
But I'm so for me, I am so happy. I'm so happy to make this talk. And yes, we can collaborate this summer on other things. From my side, I will try to contact some organizations about some interesting events we can do. I don't give any promises, but I will do my best.
Okay, thank you, Bahadir.
Yeah. Welcome, Tamer.
For me, I just want to say thank you so much, Tamer, for your time. You made a great presentation, and you really explained the importance of chess and how it is important to have an idea about the history of it. And it's not just a simple game; it's more than that. So it's a heritage, and we should protect
Of
as
all
you mentioned
faiths and all
before.
ethnicities, a lot of people contribute to chess, right? It's all humanities. It's going to be in the classroom. You have to tell the correct story. You have to overcome the objections.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So that's it. For me, that's the most important thing to learn from this talk. Saying just chess is haram and then ending the debate, it's not a good way to deal with the current problem.
The problem is also who gets the decision-making power in countries, right? If you have people who know this problem and who are trying to align people and culturally aware, they will do. If you elect people, or if the situation is such that Taliban is in power and they are also coming to Istanbul, they're talking in Turkey. They have also very fundamentalist groups actually, right? So when you engage them, they will say chess is makruh, permissible under certain conditions, right? So understand in that way is also okay, maybe, right? Because according to them, everything is haram, permissible. Everything is slightly permissible. So.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much again for your time. And for anyone of the MDS Talks community, if they want to join the Satran AI International organization, we have already added the link on the chat.
Fill the form, and I will add them to our WhatsApp group, and I will also share the WhatsApp group. But I want to collect their background because everybody has a unique way to contribute, right? So of course we need teacher trainings. We need to create a business model. We need to organize tournaments, right? You need to be a little organizer to hold the one. We need to send chess pieces. I designed these new chess pieces. We need to send 20 sets from Turkey to Morocco, let's say, right? If each chess costs $5-10, it's $200. To ship is $50, $250. Who's going to pay for this, right? You need to create a little bit of budget to ship the sets, to organize events, and then chess clocks are easy. But once you have this goods, you can organize. Like you can organize monthly, and it will be attracting parents to it. It will be attracting children too, and then you can make a revenue out of this, right? And then Satran International is there to act like as a coordinating body to all these events in different countries.
Okay, so Asma, do you want to add something?
Just thank you, Mrs. Tamer, to be in MDS Talks, and welcome again anytime.
You're welcome. Thank you. I really admire you guys organizing the community. It's difficult to bring people around STEM subjects, so I think you have a good community and with some cultural agenda to improve education quality in the region, in the North Africa and even Spain. This project, don't think it's just a Moroccan concept. It's also French and Spanish project. So we are teaching. You're going to solve some Spanish historic puzzles also. So,
yeah, actually, I think because Morocco in Spain it was Arabic, the Andalus, and they play chess. Also, the story behind chess, I think the first game was in China, no?
No.
The first civilization.
No. The oldest chess set was found in Uzbekistan, in Afrasiab. So the oldest chess set was found there. But the oldest story around chess comes from South Asia. And South Asia doesn't necessarily mean India, right? So I told you the story of Bukhara. Bukhara is a city in Pakistan. The horse died in Pakistan. So
Bukhara? No?
The oldest chess set was found in Samarkand, Afrasiab, not Bukhara. Bukhara is the horse of Alexander the Great, who died in Pakistan. It's the name of a horse. Bukhara is the name of the horse. Okay,
yeah, I see. So we have you talk about names. I think Jewish, Hebrew, and Arabic, and maybe the Urdu and the Persian language. They are same roots.
Very similar. But
Sam, the son of Noah, the son of Sam. So
yes,
we have.
You can teach all these games through chess. Actually, all these languages, some board terminology, you can teach in one curriculum. You can teach 5 languages together because the words are so similar in chess. You can teach 10 words in different languages, and children will understand and they will remember. Also, it's not that hard as people think.
Maybe we need a course of NLP, of natural language.
We will prepare a small course with Asma for teaching teachers and like young learners multiple languages together. This also another.
That's great. but the golden era of chess, I think, in the era of Abbasi and the Harun Rashid.
Of course. And
The golden era.
Essuli, Elad el-Rumi, and Essuli were first masters, and they were at the same level as Al-Khwarizmi, if you ask me. Al-Khwarizmi wrote the book of Jabir, linear algebra. They wrote the book of Satran. So that's a different discipline, like the music book, artistry book. There's a different scientific discipline. They wrote on that. And they were also poet. They were also doing other works, but chess was one of the things they were working on.
That's it. And who is the first one who made the rules that we have now, actually?
The rules that we have now are almost the same as the ones we had since 1500 years. The rules didn't change.
Okay.
So the king moves the same. They put the cross, but it's the same king. It's the same king. Right? So it's no rule change. Checkmate is the same. The king is the same. The rook is the same. It was called the rook. It was called the rook back then, and today the English call it the rook. It's correct. Nothing has changed. The horse jumps 2 by 1 L. It's the same today. Same.
Okay.
The pawn moves forward by 1 and captures diagonally. The same. It's the same. So 4 out of the 6 pieces are the same. And the elephant used to go diagonally, but it used to jump 2 by 2. Now it can go diagonally as much as it wants, like the crocodile or the elfil, or in German is Läufer, runner. It can go, but it used to go diagonally. Now it can go diagonally longer. Okay, same. Okay. The queen, first in Spanish, in German, Dame, because first was similar to the French word virgin fierge, and then fierge. I don't know how to pronounce fierce, but fierce in French means Virgin Mary and Virgin. So that's why probably Germans call it Dame. And that used to go diagonally too. It used to go diagonally 1 square. Today it can go also diagonally longer, and also it can go vertical and horizontal. So the pieces have changed. So chess piece rules, 66% are same. Checkmate is the same. The stalemate route exists today, but back then, because it was difficult to capture the king, stalemate also meant you were winning. But today, if it's stalemate, it's a draw. If you don't have moves and you don't have checkmate, it's draw. So there are some small rule changes. Okay. But it was in the 1497 book, Queen Isabel, who commissioned this book to Lucena. Lucena wrote this book. He was a convert to Catholicism from Judaism. In this book, half of the book is with old rules, half of the book is with new rules. So in 1497, you see the first depiction of the new rules. Okay, and you saw both rules side by side. 1497, and probably in 1492, when the Muslim libraries were burned down in Granada. 1492 Granada. Bahadin, 1492. Do you know Granada?
Yes, Granada in Spain.
Yeah, but
In
what
Spain,
happened
yes.
in Granada?
Garnata.
Garnata.
So in
The king,
1492,
the end of Andalus, no?
yes, end of Indulus. But what happened there was, this is the Wikipedia article. I'm showing this Wikipedia article here. You see here, I will search for the keyword burn. Let me check the library also. Otherwise. So here, the Archbishop Cisneros, he ordered mass conversions. He ordered the burning of the valuable Arabic manuscripts, also to Muslims and Jews. So a lot of the Muslim chess books and Jewish chess books were burned down there. So maybe the earliest manuscript about modern rules of chess were Muslim, but these guys, I mean, look at this here. Like all the library in Granada has been burned down. Do you see this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So maybe you can say it was in 1497, but we don't know, because as I show you in this photo, in our exhibition, I show you this exhibition. I will show again. Or 1 second, I will show you here again. In this photo, you see a Jewish chess player playing an Arabic chess player in this 13th century. And they were probably helping this book to be written, because they were paid by the Vice King Alfonso too. There is a lot of Jewish and Christian influence, obviously. There's not denied, So we don't know for sure when this was first added. And the elephant was added in this book. So the elephant that you see today, the way it moves diagonally, was added in this book. And in this book, definitely Muslim and Jewish contributions were there. The king was Christian, Vice King Alfonso, and he had a great title, Vice King Alfonso. So he commissioned this book. There was definitely Jewish. And in even 1794, there was no Christian symbols. If you look at this thing, if you zoom in, I don't know if I can zoom in this, but I have to maybe download this. I don't know. But there is also no Christian symbols. Okay. So
That's
we
great.
don't know. Maybe in Timur Lane's book, Timur Lane was a chess master. He had a Timur Lane chess in the 14th century, and probably they were playing different variants of chess in Andalusia too. But all the books have been burned down. You cannot tell you cannot tell who influenced this. I was here in the museum, Boston Museum of Fine Arts. There's a section on medieval Europe, and there was a little sign. Whatever is depicted in Italy and Spain in that area is missing Jewish contribution, because they burned down Jewish books too, like Muslim books, Jewish books too. It's Europe.
I don't know if that has anything else to add. For me, you have already answered all my questions.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to meet with like-minded people who want to do something, change, youth project, education, and I feel that you are doing this pro bono out of your own will to earn some sevap, and I hope you will earn a lot of kebab for this. So good sevap, and I wish you a lot of kebab. Okay, very good.
Thank you so much. Asma, final word to Mr. Tamer.
Thank you, Mrs. Tamer. It's so useful and amazing talk. Really appreciate your time and welcome in MDS talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it. So
my last question to Tamer: are you Turkish or Yugoslavian?
I was born in Balkans. I was born in Yugoslavia, currently Northern Macedonia. I moved to Turkey when I was 3-4 years old. My mother tongue is Turkish, so I am a minority in Turkey. My grandfather was the director of Turkish school in Skopje, Macedonia, who exists today. So Macedonia was very welcoming to minorities, right? So not maybe in Soviet Union that was not as well, but in Yugoslavia, minorities were really welcoming. And I heard from someone who was former prime minister of Tunisia, next country next to you, Tunisia. Back then, the Yugoslavian star was very popular. So you have Moroccan star and Yugoslavian star. Yugoslavia had a star in the flag too. So you had similar stars, So, and but of course, I'm very multicultural. I went to a Turkish German high school in Istanbul, Turkey. I came to the United States, and I have a lot of diverse friends. I come from a Turkish Sufi background, Balkan Turkish background, but I'm critical of religion. And you see how, even in the topic of chess, a lot of objection by the decision makers. Even the decision makers, the ones who control the money, think chess is haram. This is like music is. We are dealing with this kind of mindset to promote some cultural heritage, and the Christian world embraces it. And now we are trying to teach it in a culturally inclusive way, in a light way. And I think we have a lot to do to reach the Muslim parents worldwide. Also, other parents, right? It doesn't have to be Muslim. I think everybody sees the value of chess in a culturally inclusive way, in a way to bring children together, right? In a way to bring children together without screen addiction. You can bring children to a tournament in a way to bring children together without screen addiction, because all these big companies also want your children to be screen addicted. They want you to pay all the products. So, that includes Minecraft, that includes other products, right? Roblox, because there is money involved. The companies are now focusing on education to say, this is very good, but a lot of time is also wasted on those games, actually, without any educational value. But I think we can make chess a very educational game. If you package right, it can be very, very educational, a very good tool to make children smarter and more socially aware, culturally aware. can do a great work. Okay.
About this, Mr. Tamer, your journey could be used as a good example of how chess could be both beneficial and also because I think you studied technology. Your main focus is on technology. So beside this chess, so this is a good example how could chess play a good role. As you said that your grandfather, he's the one who taught you chess in your childhood. So to make children play chess more and to make it beneficial for them, I think that should be started from a very early age. So that should be the main goal. Beside that, also as you mentioned, to speak to the decision makers to make it part of the educational system. I hope in the future we could see chess part of our educational system, and will be taught on our schools too. Also, I hope the viewers of this live would join your community also, and our community too. So this is my final word. Thank you so much again for your time.
I want to mention that this project, Satran AI, is supported by the European Union Youth Program, right? It's coordinated by Fatih Sultan Mehmet Foundation University. We have Istanbul Governorship, Istanbul directly and indirectly, Istanbul Directorate of Ministry of Education as partners. We have Turkey Youth Foundation as a partner. We have a German nonprofit called Imaginary.de that does excellent science exhibition and math and AI exhibitions in Germany. They are collaborating. We are grateful for the attention. We have a Romanian nonprofit, eCivis, doing a lot of civic education and robotic STEM projects in Romania, led by another social entrepreneur. They are partner. We have a North Macedonian Ministry of Education as a partner. It's already happening in 5 countries. I also have my company in Boston as a partner. So we have a very international project. We want to expand this further, but when we apply to funding to OIC countries, there's no similar grant mechanism for social makers, right? Let's say Bahadin and Asma and Kotar wanted to teach data science to Moroccan youth. They don't have funding resource to apply to from OIC, something like EU funding. Say there is no so we don't have this. We need to have more outreach to decision makers or rich businessmen or holdings to have some funding. If you're going to do something in Morocco or North Africa region, we need to be also on the outreach to sponsor a project, right? Some or we have to be doing self-ourselves. We have to be teaching boot camps, generating some revenue, self-financing. We have to be doing like this. This is up to you.
Yes, so we will try, inshallah, to make, inshallah, to preserve this heritage. And I think that's it for this talk, even though it was a very amazing and interesting topic. I think we arrived at the very end. So I would like to say thank you again to all of you, Asma and Ba'atin, Mr. Tamer, again for your time. And I hope to see you on our next talk.
See you next time.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, I think in USA it's the afternoon.
Yeah, it's 6:49.
For us, it's almost midnight. It's late here.
Yeah.
You asked me, I'm Yugoslav, right? I learned last year my name was also Arabic, and this year I learned my name was also Jewish. So I thought all my life I'm Turkish. Now this year I heard I will tell you my name is Tom. You know Tamam?
Tamam. Very well. Good. Yeah. Tamam.
Tamam means complete, full, perfect. Tamam means this in Arabic. So the short form of Tamam is Tam. So my name is Tam. Okay. Tam means complete. Tam is the short form of Tamam.
No. Tamam is well. Is good.
Okay, well. Okay,
very good. Well.
In
Tamam.
Turkish, we use the word Tamam in a way to say okay, or we also say if you buy a bread, you can get half bread or you can get full bread. So full bread is called tam ekmek, full bread. Okay, tam ekmek. Tam is a subject. So
complete.
Adjective. So tam stands for this. In Hebrew, they also have tamim. The same as tamam, they have in Hebrew as tamim. Okay, the same in Hebrew and tamim. Okay, so my first prefix to my name, tam, in Turkish, in Arabic, and Hebrew means the same, tam. Okay, complete full. And er in Turkish means soldier, but also in German, Arbeiter, the suffix means soldier or male person. Arbeiter or like Lehrer, er, the suffix. Also in English, you have teacher, worker, right? Er suffix. So my last name is Turkish, English, German. My suffix to my first name is Turkish, German, English, and my prefix to my first name is Turkish, Arabic, Jewish. Okay, so I'm very multicultural. Okay, so
And
Even the name is multicultural.
tamam is even the context. Tamam is tamam, but
yes.
the thing that you, for example, we have a task and we finish it, we can go المهمة تمت بنجاح. Okay, and we can go
We complete it successfully.
tam with the alif. Tam is finished. It's okay. By the way, we have two famous stars or artists. Okay, we have in Egypt we have Tamer Husni. Okay, yeah. Okay, and about Tamim, we have شاعر, poet from Palestine. It's Tamim al-Barghouti. I don't know if you know it. Tamim Barghouti.
Tamim is also a Jewish name, by the way. Tamim is also Hebrew name. I'm very sure. Okay.
Because he's from Palestine, so Palestine is from Jewish and Islamic.
His name is very common, used in across. So my name is like chess. Chess is used across many cultures. My name is used in many cultures. I'm very happy with my name. But I thought my name was very Turkish all my life, and I was digged a bit further. I said, no.
I will write it on the chat about Tamim Barghouti because he's a very good poet. He writes always about revolution and human rights of Arabs. And
by the way, the chess master I show you, Esuli, this guy, okay, this guy that I showed you, this guy here, who has statue in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. He's one of the authors of Kitab Satran. He is the strongest chess player. He asked the puzzle that was unsolved 1,000 years ago. He was a poet. He was a poet also. Okay, okay, just to tell you, he was a poet.
By the way, me too. My name is Arabic and Persian. We have a big religion called Baha'i faith.
Baha'i, new prophet.
Baha'u'llah, yeah. It's a beautiful religion. Yeah. So Baha'u'llah, it's from Baha. Yeah. It's the meaning is very good. Is something beautiful. The meaning of Baha. Okay. And Halim is something from names of the god. Halim is someone who.
I know. We use Halim as Turkish name to use in Turkish as a first name. We use Halim.
Abdul Halim. Yeah. Halim is someone he don't like تسامح something like that. شنو اسمها بالعربية ترى بالإنجليزي؟ Pardonate. تسامح بزاف.
He's a forgiver.
Forgiver. Like the God is the forgiver. Yeah.
Since you were explaining your name, I have to explain my name too. So Kautar Kautar is the name of a river in heaven. So maybe my name is the best.
Isn't the ayat with Kautar? There's an ayat with Kautar? No?
Yes, there is a surah in Surah Al-Kautar in Quran.
Yeah, there's also surah, no?
Yeah, but yes, but he's the name of a river in the heaven.
I see. Yeah.
And Asma, it's names.
My name's Alexandrian names.
We have Esma in Turkish too. The female name. I don't know what it means. Okay, did we close? We are closing, or is this closed or no? Okay.
It's closed. It's okay. 3, 2, 1, go. See you later.
See you
later.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.